Hey there.
Hi.
Oh, geez, she grabs the microphone. She's adjusting the boobies for Tari Cam. There's so much going on. Good morning to you. How are you, Terry Free? Nice to see you.
Good. How are you?
Good.
Can
What's
you
going
really
on?
see me now?
Oh, you know, I'm always looking right at you every time we do the show. It's just a different angle.
Right.
How are things? Everything
Good.
wonderful? Yesterday was a nice day, or what? It
really was.
Filled with Heath Ledger news.
Jeez, yeah.
Stock market headlines. And last night, did you catch any of the new Fox show that just has the writers really shaking their boots with a moment of truth, or what?
I saw a little bit of that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I don't know. I was sitting there actually watching the show going, I don't know if I like this. Do I like this? I'm trying to figure it out. I can't figure out if I like this or not.
Right. I mean, the hair club question, yeah, at least he answered it honestly. That was good. The bank account, but, you know.
I don't remember many times me sitting in front of the TV going, I can't figure out if I like this show or not.
Except for
and then
yesterday.
pretty much when I switched it, I think the answer was no.
Yeah?
I think when I turned it off, like with 15 minutes still to go, I think that made it pretty clear that the answer might have been no.
Okay. I'm still a little out.
I watched one question with my wife, and then I'll take a pass.
Really? What was the question?
I don't know.
Do you
Something
even
that made me
remember?
uncomfortable that she'd probably want to know the answer to. And so
it wasn't that you didn't like the show. It was that it just made you squirm a little bit watching with your wife.
Yeah,
there are a lot of shows like that make me turn the channel. It doesn't mean I don't like them.
Yeah, I definitely, that was the reason. I'll pass.
See, you watched one question. I watched a good, 40 minutes of the show, trying to figure out whether I liked it or not, and then deciding, you know what? I'm tired of sitting here trying to figure this out. Let me watch something else.
Something I can figure out.
Right. Something I know either I hate or I love. But I'm wondering if people like this show or not. I was actually also thinking that. Are other people going to like this show? Or what's the feeling on this? It almost, for a couple of seconds there, made me think, oh, man, this is the first time I feel like the writers need to come back quick.
Right. Well, it's kind of interesting, the whole idea, but when I came in, I was kind of halfway through it, so I didn't really understand how the whole show started and what the whole premise was.
Well, I mean, it takes you 2 seconds to figure it out.
Well, I know, but I mean...
Pretty self-explanatory. Oh, I'm so lost.
No,
the storyline is too much for me.
no.
Is there an alien somewhere? How does this work?
Forget it. Never mind. I'm sorry, even...
Terry, that's just a weird thing to say that you couldn't figure out you were lost because you tuned in late.
I know. It's meaning, what were the three people doing there? Are they coming up to this?
People?
Yeah. Are they just for added pressure? How did they pick
I
them?
love added pressure.
Things like that. Then I had to have one of my children explain it to me because I was just I didn't.
I'm sure that's not uncommon in your house.
No, it's similar to algebra.
Yeah, right. Anyway, let me open the phone line, see what people, if anyone's up early this morning. First of all, if anyone wants to talk early this morning about anything, that's fine with me. You know, that's always the case. More today than usual. Not every day this early I'll open up the phone lines, but today I will. 1-866-663-T-Man. And if you watched Moment of Truth, did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you not sure? Are you not care?
Not to care.
I don't know. I still don't know. I don't know much about anything anymore.
All right.
Since there's nothing on, my wife said, yeah, we should TiVo this, I was like, no, TiVo's full. Sorry. I'm not able to for some reason.
It's all taken.
Made me uncomfortable. I didn't like it.
The show made you uncomfortable.
Yes.
Well, see that, then it's working. It's supposed to be one of those shows.
See, I missed American Idol because I was out, but then I came back about 5 minutes into the show, and I was so lost. I needed some help.
What's going on here?
Then I figured it out. Yeah, right. And
is this a murder mystery?
For about 40 minutes of the show, I couldn't figure out whether I liked it or not. And I still am not sure. Still have no conclusions.
When do you think you'll know?
Give me a few months.
Okay, good.
Not that I'm going to watch any more shows between now and then. I just need a few months to work this through my mind.
7 years from now, I don't really care for that show. That was no good. I didn't like it.
Yeah, 2017, I'll come back with my opinion on this.
Okay, good. I'll be ready.
Kevin in Central Valley.
How you doing?
Pretty good. What do you got?
Yeah, I watched that show last night, and I kind of felt the same way as you about it. It's
Nobody knows.
Slow moving. Yeah.
It was kind of slow, and some of the questions just seemed like, oh, come on, that's a lame one, and I don't know, what was one of the questions? Have you ever flirted? They asked the dude if you ever flirted with any girls on the internet, and he answered no, and they confirmed that his...
I don't understand either. Why ask the person questions that aren't incriminating?
Well, they asked...
Well, they do later on.
If you flirt with a girl on the internet and you're married, big whoop. He answered that he never has, which is... And then they confirmed that his answer was correct because I guess they're checking his heartbeat or whatever they do to evaluate. And I'm thinking, man, what a freaking lame-o that guy is. Married, not even taking time to do what you got to do on the internet. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I said. This show is, that's when I turned it. That's exactly when I turned it. I said, this show is lame. I'm out of here. So I guess I did come to a conclusion.
Yeah, I'm going to go flirt with chicks on the internet. I'm out of here.
That's right. Jeremy.
T-Man.
Yes.
Dude, I agree with you. Your show is lame. First of all, what the heck did they have a NFL football player on that show for in the first place?
Was that an NFL? Who was that?
Who was it?
That was the very first guy on there. He had the hot wife.
The guy who lost?
Oh, he was an NFL football player?
Yeah.
So I tuned in late. I didn't see them introduce him. Who did he play for?
I don't think they ever said. He went to college in Cincinnati.
All right. He was married. The woman he was married to didn't even seem like she really cared. My wife would have come up and choked me on a couple of those things. She wouldn't have cared if he screwed. I got the feeling that she wouldn't have really even cared if he was screwing around on her.
Oh, I'm sure he has. I mean, that comes with the territory.
Well, he said that he's never done anything. I don't even remember what they said, but I don't know. I thought it was a pretty weak-ass show now I think about it.
Okay.
Travis.
Conclusion.
What's up, man?
I guess you don't have to wait till 2017.
Right.
I'm figuring it out right now. Yes,
Live.
Travis.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I don't know about that whole 60-minute suspense thing going on they have there. Every time they ask a question, pausing for the dramatic effect.
Yeah, the pauses were too long. They seemed like they take too many commercials. I know they have a set number of commercials for every show, but this one just seemed like nothing was getting done. I don't know. It was moving too slow for me. Dominic, what do you got?
Hey, T-Man.
What's up?
Hey, yeah, the show, man, they asked ridiculous questions, and then they just waited forever to tell him whether he was telling the truth or not.
Yeah, they're showing his feet. I mean, I hated that show. There you go.
Okay.
Now I know.
It's official.
It's officially official, yes. Hot Tony.
Hey,
Good
how is
morning
everybody?
to you.
Hey.
Bring
going
back
on,
that
guys?
show. Bring back that show that Hot Tony was on.
Yeah.
Hot or Not. Do you remember that show, ladies and gentlemen? Hot or Not with, what was his freaking name? Lorenzo Lamas.
Yes.
Rachel Hunter and some other dude.
Hot Tony was a quarterfinalist in that show, and he joins us on the air every once in a while, and he has to watch shows like this knowing that his show was canceled.
He had one of the great lines ever on that show. Something about his abs. I remember it was awesome. It was really funny.
Something about an extra 2 or something.
There you go. Something like that.
Yeah, no, that moment of truth was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, those questions, like, hey, have you ever touched one of your clients more than is required? I mean, if you shake their hand, that's not required.
Have you ever done anything to make your wife feel like you're untrustworthy?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? I do that every 5 minutes.
It should be the other way around. If you're giving your wife a reason to trust you for anything. Nope.
All right. Have you ever done anything that should make your wife trust you for half a minute? I can't believe now that I think about it, I can't believe I watched that show for 45 minutes today.
I can't believe that Mark Wahlberg guy gets another gig.
I know. He came out of nowhere again.
Great agent.
Yeah, he
put him back on Temptation Island and call it a day.
Jesus Christ.
Bring back Temptation Island, as a matter of fact.
He gets tons of work.
Yeah, he does.
Listen, Hot Tony, it's too early for me to fall behind this early, so.
Is he so hot still?
Oh, Terry, hopefully he'll be calling back on a regular basis.
Yeah.
We need Hot Tony on this program, Terry. With the writer's strike and all, Yeah, that show.
All right,
I didn't think polygraphs were able, you could detect, instantly either. That seems kind of hokey to me.
Yeah, it's all contrived. It's so lame. I can't believe I sat through that. 45 minutes of my life back, please.
The T-Man Show.
Terry's looking all nice on Terry Cam this morning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, if you didn't hear yesterday, the wishes came true much more quickly than I imagined, and that's rare, Terry, where I ask for something and it happens faster than I expected. Usually it takes, 8 or 9 years for something that I request to happen on the show for them to actually come through with it. Well, true. Terry Cam is up and running on the tmanshow.com. That's right, all through the show. We have a situation where if you punch up the tmanshow.com and you click on the link, and by the way, people are even emailing me saying, I went to the tmanshow.com, I don't see this Terry Cam that you're talking about. It's because the link is so damn small. Why aren't they making the link really big, like the most prominent thing on the page right now?
I already talked to him.
It's the biggest thing in the world.
I know, but I already talked to him about it.
Do you hear what I'm saying, Terry? Terry Cam is the biggest thing in the world.
In the
Watching
world?
you during the show on Terry Cam is
way.
like the buzz of the world right now. Are you hearing me or no?
Buzz of the world.
Oh, geez, maybe not that big. But anyway, the TManShow.com, look for the link. It's under Terry's profile.
Yes.
It's hidden in there somewhere. But if you click on it, you can watch Terry Free in action. There's not much action.
No.
All through the show. And doesn't she look lovely this morning?
You want to see me staple some papers? Because I know how much you love me
Live?
stapling.
This is going to be
Yes.
awesome.
I want to see you press your boobs together. Come on.
Watch out!
Something
She's
exciting.
stapling.
Oh, this is a monumental moment for radio and internet come together. Yes, Terry is stapling some papers. You actually heard the audio along with your video that you see on the TManShow.com. We bring it all to your doorstep, ladies and gentlemen.
That was awesome.
Unbelievable. The levels of excitement that we are now capable of bringing you. Terry, you'd be surprised how many dudes talked about how they were fixated on Terry Cam, all not just through the end of yesterday's show when we launched it. But all through the day, as you had your frozen picture up there, and I think people were just waiting for you to start moving.
I know, yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
And the fact that other listeners could, if they feel inclined to do so, can join you by putting their videos up there in real time. It's just a Terry Cam free-for-all, pretty much.
It is.
It's very exciting.
I know, you love it, right?
Oh, I can't tell you. And it's a landmark day in the program. Now, Terry, what else is going on as far as news of the morning, please?
Well,
some stuff
we have
early on. What do
we
you
have
got?
the Heath Ledger stuff.
Well, we'll get to all that stuff later. I know, they found with the autopsy inconclusive type results, but there was prescription bottles that they said was mostly to pretty much fully filled. These bottles. So they wonder if there was even enough that could have been discarded from those bottles that could have led to him having a situation where he overdosed. You had, and by the way, this was one of my draft picks. This was my first draft pick yesterday, and everyone kind of like gasped when I went old school and I went Valium. That was like the number one prescription medication that he had in his house that they mentioned.
Yes.
So leave it to me.
You just know.
To feel my way through these drafts, Terry, that we had yesterday. So,
I feel
they
like
also...
my draft pick's turning into Ryan Leaf right before my eyes.
I know.
The bust of the NFL century.
Yeah, that's true.
They found a rolled up 20, but it had no residue on it, and they are going to test that, but they're thinking because it didn't have residue, this is what they were saying. They probably didn't have anything to do with the situation, because people roll up 20s all the time, Terry. And just stick them in their pockets.
Yeah.
Roll them up, put it right back in the wallet. Yes. Rolled up 20s is something that I'm sure everyone could pull out of their wallet right now. Makes a lot of sense to me. But we'll get to all that stuff later. We'll talk about Heath Ledger all through the morning, but what else is going on?
Well, Britney Spears, of course, failed to attend another one of her custody hearings, which was yesterday.
Seems to be a little pattern developing.
She apparently inside the courtroom, the court commissioner asked Britney's attorney if Britney planned on attending, and
So spaz out like a basket case when they're trying to take the kids away a couple of weeks ago, but as far as actually showing up to try to
tough time
do what
doing that.
legally needs to be done to get some custody, she is it's funny because she's like driving by the courthouse.
Yes.
She's stopping in for a donut, but she doesn't go in actually the court.
Right. Isn't that bizarre?
Room.
Yeah.
The court has great coffee in the morning, so
They have great free coffee, and she appreciates a nice free cup of coffee, I think. But as far as going in the courtroom, it doesn't seem like she has an interest to actually go in the room where the proceeding is happening. She's shown up a number of times now to the courthouse, but I don't think her new lawyers have told her you have to actually go in to see the judge.
Oh, I hate that part.
Yes, and the attorney for her even said, I don't know if she's going to come or not. So, of course, what happened was the commissioner refused to restore the visitation or custody. So
This is like the
still
third or
asked
second
out.
time that she's shown up on a
I
day
know.
where her proceeding was happening, but she didn't go in the courtroom.
After I'm like, I'm supposed to be in there. How about no?
You have to be able to sit still for 5 minutes and listen to what's going on.
Yeah, she's not.
I'm rapidly coming over to the Terry Free camp about her not wanting to get her kids back as hard as I thought she did.
doesn't. She doesn't.
goes in
It's
the
all
courtroom.
drama.
She raised her hand, says present, and then leaves.
Doesn't even do that.
Yeah, that's right. She doesn't even answer for attendance.
She doesn't even
respond to roll call.
Right, she doesn't. The judge sits in there and goes, Britney Spears.
Yeah, she's already left.
Yeah.
She's
She's on the courthouse
However,
steps.
she did have a shirt on yesterday with no bra that was pretty nice. I don't know if you saw those pictures or not.
who was it?
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh.
well, pass them on. Where are the pictures?
I'm on
Just put 'em
X17
up on the
online.
side.
It's not even
believe.
close to hiding them.
Pasty.
I'm sure Pasty
You're on
has
this? Okay, Pasty's
Sure he
on.
can.
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
He'll have it in my
nice.
hands in a matter of moments, and I'll decide whether it's... Is it really that good?
I think it's great. I mean, I don't know.
All right.
I've always been a fan, so anytime you get to see her.
Is that all for Brittany? What else you got, Terry? Anything else on
No,
Brittany or
also
what?
too,
She's dating
supposedly
her-
there's a clip online somewhere of an unreleased Britney Spears song where she samples that all that she wants from Ace of Base.
Oh,
So-
I knew Ace of Base couldn't stay dead forever, Terry.
Yeah.
I knew someone out there would find an appreciation for Ace of Base. Not that I saw the sign, but
Right, all that she wants.
their other hit, yes.
Their other one.
Their other one. That's all they got.
Yeah.
And they'll be playing at an Indian Tribe casino near you soon, I'm sure. And they'll be playing the 14-minute version of each song.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun for everyone.
Right.
So Brittany still, she's not still, she kind of broke up and now she's back together with this.
The paparazzi dude?
Yeah. It's really,
that's a
it's
weird
really,
one, too.
It's amazing. He doesn't look like what you would, I don't know what paparazzi dude actually looks like, but he doesn't strike me when I saw all the pictures of him that he was chasing her around with a camera way back one day. But
Right.
Is that what exactly went on here? He was like typical guy running her around, following her with a camera. And
And then they became friends, I think. She just became friendly with him, and the next thing you know,
I
they're
thought I was going
together.
to get laid being a Domino's pizza driver, Terry. I didn't know that these paparazzi camera dudes had a chance to hook up with the big stars that they're like leeching, that they're running after. This is hope for a lot of dudes out there who are following the mega stars of the world.
Right.
Definitely.
This
So
has
go
gotta-
get a camera.
This has got to make them feel like a door has been swung wide open to them. We're not just a bunch of maggots running around here. We're not just a bunch of roaches and leeches following these superstars. We could actually hook up and become their significant other, maybe future husbands or wives if you got female paparazzi, Terry. I didn't know that they would even consider hooking up with the paparazzi. Not only did she hook up with him, not only did she hook up with him
Pregnancy.
and tell him not to tell anyone, which I think would have been, if anything, would have been way more likely. If some star was going to actually have sex with one of the paparazzi people, you would think that'd be as far as it would go. They would have sex and then put the fear of who knows what in them to, if you ever tell anyone, I'll never see another camera in your life. But she not only does that, but now he's her boyfriend.
Well, and did you hear the pregnancy rumors that they were seen shopping for pregnancy tests?
Yeah, there was pictures of that, but
Yeah.
they also said that they were doing that on purpose to mess with the paparazzi, so who really knows?
Yeah, who really knows at her state of mind?
Oh, that dude probably knows how to mess with the paparazzi.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm
he
sure
knows what
he
kind of
does.
money shots to give him.
Oh, my. You guys.
I love the money shot. Speaking of which, Pasty, this is her at the courthouse yesterday? Well, all right. Yeah, Brittany shows up in the right gear at the courthouse, let me tell you.
She officially doesn't care.
No, she doesn't. She really, really doesn't. It's all,
right.
you know.
Let's put Brittany's courthouse gear picture.
Imagine walking into Judge Judy's courtroom with that on.
Brittany's courthouse gear picture on the front page of the tbanshow.com, Pasty, so everyone can see her nipping out. And, this is nice stuff. She's actually looking better today than she has probably in the past 2 or 3 years. The past couple of weeks, video I've seen of her and pictures I've seen snapped of her, she looks better in the pictures I'm seeing over the past 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know what this means, Terry. I don't know if she's so stressed and depressed or whatever that she's not eating. Maybe she's lost some weight. I don't know
Drugs
why.
will do that to you.
I don't know. All the drugs, it makes up a balanced diet that she doesn't need to get her nutrients elsewhere, and it's leading to a situation where she now looks better. In this picture and a bunch other that I've seen over the past few weeks, that indicates that she has, just to me anyway, looks better than she has in the past few years.
She's going to have to
Hooray for that.
go really low for me to be out. Like, I don't know what it's going to take for her to be out. I mean, if she was a normal girl who you just wasn't famous, you'd be so out.
Maybe it's the way her hair's growing back. No, I don't think I would be out. Not the way she looks now.
Look at the zits on the side of her face near her mouth.
I love it.
Yeah.
See, you like that.
Love it. Just raunchy
You do.
zits all over her
You do.
face.
Doesn't care.
Mhm.
Probably smells like smoke.
Exactly. Makes her look all naughty with her zits and Yeah, turns me on, baby.
Jeez.
Bring on those pussy zits.
Whoa.
Maybe not the pussy ones. Anyway, all right, a little bit. What else? What else is going on?
Well, yesterday I told you all about Reese Witherspoon and how she's flabbergasted about those serious actresses doing nude scenes, etc., because they objectify themselves.
She lashed out
Yes.
against all of female Hollywood that has decided or is in the process of deciding to take their clothes off in movies that is not considered pornography. She's saying there's no reason for this.
Right. If you're really serious, then you don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we found some pictures of her topless in a movie called Twilight.
Hello?
What?
I told you about that yesterday. Were you listening to the show? Is there, like, not a 7-second delay? Is there a 1-day delay, Terry? Did I not bring up Twilight yesterday? Are you not listening to the program? You should, Terry. It's catching on. I said Twilight yesterday.
You said Twilight yesterday?
Pasty. She's, are you being serious? I got to look at Terry Cam to see if you're being serious. Hang on one second.
You don't want to see Terry Cam.
Oh, jeez. I can't tell what she's doing. Anyway.
I'm waving at you.
Oh, it's very nice. Hi, how are you? Nice to
Hi,
see you.
how you doing?
Terry, we not only brought up Twilight yesterday. Pasty printed me out topless photos of her from Twilight yesterday. Leave it to Pasty to find the money shots, big of the money shots that all the world has to offer. Yes, we brought up Twilight yesterday, and now people are starting to realize what we did yesterday, that she's being a tad hypocritical by calling out all of the females in Hollywood for saying, don't even think about stooping to getting naked, when she did just that.
Right.
Yeah, very easy, as I said yesterday, now that you're making $20 million, to be holier than thou and lash out at all of your colleagues in Hollywood for getting topless, for indicating Halle Berry was wrong for getting naked in a movie recently or the past few years. When you're on the top of the heap, she did it more than once, Terry.
Right.
I told you about the roller coaster here.
I was just going to bring that up.
Does that woman still think Alicia Silverstone was the
Oh, my God.
Is she ready to pay me my $1,000 now or not?
You guys should be married to her.
She was calling back. I didn't even tell you this part, Terry, all through yesterday's show, insisting that we were wrong. And insisting it wasn't Reese Witherspoon in Fear with Mark Wahlberg.
Wow.
Insisting it was Alicia Silverstone. I wonder what she thinks today. I don't see her calling back so far this morning.
No, she's not.
So it took 24 hours for people to do a little research that we did in a couple minutes yesterday and figure out that Reese Witherspoon is being a freaking hypocritical weirdo.
Yeah.
Maybe Reese hasn't heard of the internet or something. I mean, did she really think that wasn't going to get out? People love that kind of crap.
Right. They love to prove everybody wrong.
If there's one person under the age of 30 that probably hasn't heard of the internet, I put my money on Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, that's true.
She looks a little out of touch.
Or doesn't use it or doesn't know how the power of it.
Kind of comes off as having like an old soul for a female.
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't really know what's going on with people her age.
I write letters, okay?
Exactly. One more thing. What else? What else you got?
Lenny Kravitz hasn't had sex in 3 years.
If there's one person that strikes me like they have an old soul, Terry.
Now, wasn't he the one who was married to the Cosby...
Lisa Bonet.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet, and they have a kid, and they were both kind of like out there?
And there was a movie like, I don't know, a good 10, 20 years ago with Mickey Rourke where she gets plowed like...
Who, Lisa Bonet?
Oh, my God. She was drilling her like you wanted to put 6 extra holes in it. Yes, Mickey Rourke. It's been a long time since Mickey Rourke's been in a movie, but I'm telling you, it was a movie with Robert De Niro. I don't know. Remember what the movie was? Something Angel or something. And all I remember from that movie is that Lisa Bonet, and I was big in the Cosby Show when I was a little boy, and here I'm watching Lisa Bonet.
What year are you saying?
Getting just hammered, just getting drilled like I'd never seen before at that time. I was, I was like 12 years old or something. I'm watching her getting just
Angel
railed.
Heart.
Angel
Was
Heart?
it Angel Heart?
Angel Heart.
Oh, you did it. Way to go.
Yeah, with De Niro. You're right.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke.
No,
Mickey Rourke. Just knocks her into tomorrow. And a scene late in the movie. I don't know what I was still doing watching this movie because it wasn't a great movie, but it's towards the end. Or maybe it was the beginning. I don't remember. But all I remember about that movie is she just gets drilled. And it was graphic.
Really?
At least it was for me at the time.
Right.
Maybe if I rewatched it now with all I've seen over the past, I don't know, forever, I wouldn't see the scene nearly as graphic as I did back then. But it was violent. It was graphic. It did not look like the Cosby Show to me.
Oh, she's all grown up. So was
This
it
ain't
kind
a
of
Rudy Huxtable moment she had going on there with Mickey Rourke.
no?
Rudy
So-
and the mustache.
I wonder if everyone's throwing up every video clip in the world up on YouTube. Now, this is probably a kind of clip you can't put up there, but it's got to be somewhere.
I got the trailer, but I haven't found that scene yet.
Yeah, trailer's not going to do you any good. You got to see the scene.
YouTube it. See if it's on YouTube.
Thanks, Tara.
I don't think it's
YouTube.
going to be on YouTube.
Good thing Tara was here.
You may have to rent it if you can.
Oh.
Good luck. I don't think anyone's seen that movie in the past 15 years. But now, because of what I've told you, maybe there'll be a rush on Angel Heart to revisit. No one. I'm surprised I'd be surprised if anyone would call in right now saying, "Yeah, I know that scene. I know what you're talking about." I'm the only one who's seen this. I think they made that movie for me.
Just for you.
I
That's
remember
right.
hearing about that movie, but I don't remember it.
She gets wrecked. And she loves every second of it.
I'm on it.
Just the way every woman should, too.
Uh-oh, watch out.
Oh, let me see your reaction on Tari Cam to that. Oh, yes, you agree. Okay, good. Yes.
Did you see that?
So why do we get into Lisa Bonet on...
Well, because Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, yes.
And I was
Haven't
saying
had
that he's
sex in 3
always,
years.
yeah, he's decided to
They-
dedicate himself to celibacy until he gets married.
They used to be a couple?
Yeah, they have a child together.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little girl.
All right.
Anymore.
Well, you made me get inspired to go to my local video store today. Thanks a lot for that, Terry. Now I know what I'm going to do later on. Thank
The
you.
T-Man Show.
How dare you call us at home? If you got a problem with going to school, you do not call somebody's house and complain about it.
You're listening to the angry phone message left by a school administrator's wife berating a student for calling her husband at home.
My husband has been at the office since 6:30 this morning.
How many wives just get their husbands in trouble out there, Terry?
Well, don't you kind of look at it as kind of, I mean, she's defending her husband, who, is
that
a
right?
principal, yes. And because...
Is she
I
making
think
his
that's
life
kinda-
easier or harder, Terry? I mean,
Well-
we haven't heard a lot of the story yet, but just off what you're hearing so far, instinctively, what is your gut telling you? Based on this message that she left on I think the story goes, a student's voicemail. She calls a student back and leaves this message on her voicemail, Terry. Is she making her husband's life easier or harder? I'll tell you what, hold that thought.
Okay, I'm holding.
Not that we're really in suspense, because I think we all know the answer.
Yeah,
And
I know what
hear
you
the rest. Let's hear the rest of the story.
How dare you call us at home? If you got a problem with going to school, you do not call somebody's house and complain about it.
You're listening to the angry phone message left by a school administrator's wife berating a student for calling her husband at home.
My husband has been at the office since 6:30 this morning. So don't you even suggest that he purposely didn't answer his phone. He is out almost every single night of the week at meetings for
Oh, I bet he's out almost every single night of the week at meetings. Yeah, I'm going to a meeting, honey. I'll be back real late. Probably this meeting will go about 4 in the morning, I see. So, yeah, don't wait up.
You even suggest that he purposely didn't answer his phone. He is out almost every single night of the week at meetings for snotty-nosed little brats. And he may not have called you, but it is not because he's home, because it snowed.
Okay, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
She's referring to her husband, who's
Yes.
a school administrator,
Right.
most likely a principal type, if not
Sure.
the principal per se. She, the wife, is referring to the kids that really are the reason for his job as snotty-nosed brats. Again, do you think she's making his life easier or harder? What do you think
Well-
she's done here, Terry? I mean, it's real suspenseful what we're waiting for as far as your answer.
Let me get
I
this
really
right,
wanna- wait,
though.
Hold on, let me watch you on Terry Cam.
Okay, let me get this right, though.
Yeah.
So she's angry because now, if what I heard is that the
you're going off
person.
on
No,
Terry Cam, by the
listen.
way.
The
look at her
student.
nostrils.
The student called
Talk about
the house
tomatoes.
or his house first, correct? To complain about why they're not staying at home, so on and
Terry,
so
you got
forth.
you got some oversized nostrils in person, but on Terry
look.
Cam, man, it just looks like
How
you
do they
pick
look
your-
now?
I mean, they're
Pick your
clearly
nose with your fist, baby.
they're clearly dilating right now.
When Terry gets all worked up, she needs a little added Filipino oxygen, and she just dilates those those nostrils more than usual. Okay, Terry, you know what? It sounds like you have some serious thoughts on the subject. It sounds like you have a serious opinion, and you love a woman who's going to defend her husband, because I'm sure you've yelled in your husband's defense for whatever reason in your life. And,
especially in his job.
And I'm sure he doesn't have the heart to tell you you're not making his life easier. You're making it harder.
Well,
and just because you had good intentions doesn't mean that it's a good situation. This woman has made her husband's life harder. Obviously, if this story is turning up on Extra, Terry, she hasn't made her husband's life easier because she called the kids in the school snot-nosed brats.
Well, but I think...
No.
What
answer that question. We'll listen to the rest of the story.
How dare you call us at home? If you've got a problem with going to school, you do not call somebody's house and complain about it.
I thought we were living in the day where you could call people that work at your school at home. You could email them. You could go hang out in the park together. You could ride around with your cousin driving, with your teacher in the back seat, an administrator in the principal's office, disciplining you, Terry. I thought that's the age we were living in now. Why is this woman getting all bent out of shape because her phone rang at home?
Well, I think that if a student...
Don't answer that now. No, go ahead.
I think that if a student actually has the principal's home phone or has access to it, there's issues there.
Well, she probably just did a tiny bit of research, which is all it takes these days, with all this information at our disposal to get the principal's number.
But to call the principal and complain because for whatever reason, what was it? The student wanted a damn snow day is a little bit stupid.
What, the principal can't be questioned for his judgment by anyone, Terry? The principal is so high and mighty that he can't be questioned, and I thought we were living in the day where all these teachers and school administrators were more accessible than they were in the past. And this woman...
No, actually, it's less because of all of the teacher-student relations. I mean, all the student-teacher relations led to kids not being able to hug each other in the hallway. Crap. I mean, that's the fallout from all of that.
Stuff. Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right, let's hear the rest of the story, and then we'll get your comments, although it sounds like we already got them.
How dare you call us at home? If you've got a problem with going to school, you do not call somebody's house and complain about it.
You're listening to the angry phone message left by a school administrator's wife berating a student for calling her husband at home.
My husband has been at the office since 6:30 this morning. So don't you even suggest that he purposely didn't answer his phone. He is out almost every single night of the week at meetings for snotty-nosed little brats. And he may not have called you, but it is not because he's home, because it snowed. Get over it, kid, and go to school.
Right.
Wow.
She's furious because the 18-year-old...
Do you hear that last line, by the way? Go to school, get an education.
Right.
So one day you'll be as smart as me and leave a voicemail berating a kid from high school and calling him a snot-nosed brat so it can be played on a tabloid television show.
Well,
one day you'll be as smart as me.
Well, I would like to hear the student's message, or if they left one, that's what I want to hear, because of course
probably wasn't much of one. She was just wondering why she had to go to school when everyone was off on all. Hey, when you're the only school that's not closed, when you're the only school that even if you're 2 hours late and all the other schools are closed, you feel like you're taking one that right in the. Hey, news there, Terry, that you don't need to be taken. I mean, that stings. When you look up on the bottom of the TV screen or wherever you're checking on the internet to find out what schools are closed and you're like one of the only ones that's open, how much does that sting? If I had the principal's number, I never did, Terry. If I had the principal's number, I'm calling him too. I'm saying, what the hell's going on?
But short of an emergency, calling a principal at home is pretty inappropriate.
Yeah, it is.
You have no business calling a principal.
And by the way,
what if all 1,000 kids in the school called him?
And I disagree. I think these principals should be, hey, well, why can't they get a phone call? What, it's too much that their phone rings? You've done the disservice because you call their phone? They could say very easily, hey, this is not appropriate for you to call my phone, but it doesn't have to lead to this woman calling back. Whoever this woman is must be what the student is thinking. I don't know who the hell this woman is. Obviously, she probably figured it out. It was the principal's wife, but she's screaming at me like this.
Well, understand, I bet you anything that the student wasn't that nice, because I don't think that a parent or even a wife is just going to go off and be that angry over some stupid little, hi, this is so-and-so, can we not go to school today? It wasn't that nice of a phone call from the student.
You have a right not to be nice when you look on the internet and you're the only school that's open. Or you're one of, 5% of schools that are open when the rest are closed.
And he may not have called you, but it is not because he's home, because it snowed. Get over it, kid, and go to school. Get an education.
She's furious because the 18-year-old senior, Devraj Corey, called her husband to complain about not getting a snow day.
My husband was up at 4.
I would have done the same thing. You know, the night before when it's snowing out and you're totally convinced you're going to be off the next day, and then you wake up and maybe it didn't snow as hard as you thought it would, and you look up and you see that your school's open. Nothing stings worse than that.
But okay.
There's certain protocols.
Nothing stings worse than
there
that.
is. Certain protocols.
There was 1,400 kids in my high school. We can't all call the principal and ask for a day off.
Right. And the other thing, too, is...
Cat, you got his number.
You have to understand that anytime you get a snow day, that's an extra day in the summer that you miss out on.
No.
Yes, it does.
Every school is given a certain number of snow days before you all of a sudden have to tack on days.
Maybe
for the summer.
2.
Fine, whatever it is, 2 or 4, whatever the number is. There's a certain number of snow days, and it doesn't matter that you worry about that in the summer. When you're thinking the night before that you could sleep in, and then all of a sudden you're getting woken up by your mom or whoever saying, "No, your school's open," you get pissed and you look for that principal's number and you call. That's what I would do, Terry. I'll say, "What the hell's going on here? I had this day all mapped out, and it didn't involve going to school today, buddy."
But that's why
Bull Elementary. Come on,
but
man.
that's why they do. They keep administrators' numbers private and under lock and key, because they, as the hot shot pointed out, they don't need 1,400 kids calling the house nonstop.
I'll do it for everyone. Pearl River High School is closed, Jack, and that's 5 minutes away. You damn well better lock up the school now, because I ain't going, you dumbass.
Well, then don't go, dumbass.
Well, then I get a.
If it's okay with your mom and dad, fine. So be it. Stay your ass home.
Principals are a little on edge anyway. You take your chances. Get calling their home.
Okay, I'll do what I typically do on a regular day in high school. I'll show up, I'll do attendance, and then I'll go running for McDonald's in the mall, and I come back sometime around 1.
And he may not have called you, but it is not because he's home, because it snowed. Get over it, kid, and go to school. Get an education.
She's furious because the 18-year-old senior, Devraj Corey, called her husband to complain about not getting a snow day.
My husband was up at 4 o'clock this morning trying to decide the best thing to do to send you to school.
Oh, let me tell you, this guy goes the extra mile. 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, school starts around what? 7. Should have been up at 3.
Oh,
dickhead.
Wow. Obviously, you didn't like any of your school principals or administrators. We get it. You have no understanding.
Called her husband to complain about not getting a snow day.
My husband was up at 4 o'clock this morning trying to decide the best thing to do to send you to school on a day when the weatherman is calling for one thing and another thing happens.
No, he's up at 4 in the morning to get away from your ass because you're intolerable, lady.
Oh,
that's probably why he's up at 4 in the morning. That's probably why he goes to school meetings every single night, like she said. Doesn't sound like he's around much. Maybe this woman's frustrations have nothing to do with this student, Terry. Maybe this wife's frustrations has to do with her marriage. Oh, I said.
Yes?
Maybe you didn't hear me, Terry.
I don't think I did.
Maybe this woman who's screaming like a banshee on an 18-year-old girl's voicemail that she's never met in her life, in a almost threatening manner, Terry, in a demeaning manner, maybe this woman's frustrations have nothing to do with the student or the situation. Maybe it has everything to do with her horrible marriage. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Hi. Nice to see you. Terry.
Why does it always have to go to that? Huh? Why?
Go to what?
Having to do with the marriage. Why can't she just...
Well,
what if they have a wonderful marriage and she loves her husband and she gets tired of him being criticized because he is a principal and there's enough pressure on him as it is? And
what are you talking about? This sounds like a situation that has never occurred, a one-time situation. It doesn't sound like something that had been building up, that she just finally lost it and blew her stack. This sounds like a one-time thing. You're making it seem
Well, she's
like
saying
this is
his job is stressful enough.
Yes.
I mean, every day his job is stressful.
stressful enough that it's putting a strain on their marriage. I really don't think.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were really going to hit it.
No, I really don't think.
Their marriage could be perfectly fine. Again, all she's trying to do is defend her husband because she gets tired. I mean, he does probably come home and she sees that he's exhausted and stressed. She doesn't like to see that.
No time for her. I really don't think that this really has everything to do with the fact that she got so bent out of shape over this girl calling the house, Terry. Because, yeah, maybe that wasn't the most appropriate thing to do in the world, but it's not that big a deal that it required this woman to call back and start screaming at an 18-year-old and talking about snot brat kids, snot-nosed brats, or whatever she called them, and getting into this kind of rant.
My husband was up at 4 o'clock this morning trying to decide the best thing to do to send you to school on a day when the weatherman is calling for one thing and another thing happens.
Oh, so he's doing his
The
job.
local weatherman
Whoop-de-doo.
had predicted a big snowfall for Fairfax County, Virginia, near Washington, D.C.
See, exactly. A lot of times you wake up and those snowstorms didn't pan out the way you thought, and you still think your principal should do the right thing and give you the snow day since everyone planned out the day differently, Terry?
No, it's actually really sunny out. We're going to school.
Obviously, it was a pretty close call, or else this girl wouldn't have even called. There must have been some snow on the ground to the point where a lot of schools were closed. That's what I'm thinking here.
It's actually June, so no, we're going to have to go.
I don't think this is a situation where she woke up, this 18-year-old girl called the principal, and every school in the county was open, and she just decided to berate or question her principal. A lot of schools must have been closed, Terry. Trust me, I know these things.
Where Corey is a straight-A student. But
It's a straight-A student dying for a snow day, Terry. What does that tell you about the state of education?
Everyone loves a snow day, even the teachers.
This wasn't some kid who's goofing off. Straight A student. What do you think now, Terry? Let me check you on Terry Kim. Let me see what you're thinking. What do you think now,
Read
Terry?
between the lines.
This is not some loser kid.
Calling for one thing.
Said he was.
This woman's telling her, go to school, get an education. Well, she's got straight A's. She's off to a pretty good start with her education. Not to mention she's a high school senior with straight A's.
The local weatherman had predicted a big snowfall for Fairfax County, Virginia, near Washington, D.C., where Corey is a straight-A student. But the snow wasn't that bad, and the school stayed open. So a disappointed Corey called the administrator, Dean Tisdat, at his home phone number.
You had no right calling me at my house. That's an invasion of my privacy.
Right.
He says,
Oh, is this Tisdat?
Yeah, sounds like
is
the
him?
old principal there.
He does sound very serious.
Yes.
But, you know, I mean, it's an 18-year-old adult, first of all, and they're questioning the work ethic of somebody. You're going to get pissed.
Right.
Let's hear Tisdat.
at his home phone number.
You had no right calling me at my house.
Is that right?
That's an invasion of my privacy.
He says the student was snippy and suggested that he wasn't doing his job, and that's why his wife, Candy, lost it.
He is out almost every single night of the week at meetings for snotty-nosed little brats.
It was a spontaneous emotional response to what she perceived to be an invasion of our privacy and a criticism of her husband.
Bottom line is, she's gotten him in a lot of trouble. The wife, Terry.
He even understands that, you know, it is.
He's
It's emotions,
defending
and still they're
he
defending
sounds-
one another regardless, and I think
Yeah.
that's okay.
He's saying that to the camera. Meanwhile, he's going home saying, don't open your big frickin' yap and get me in this kind of trouble where I got extra cameras coming down to the school looking for me.
Oh, jeez. The
Trust
student
me.
loves it. Guarantee you the student turned it in.
You really
For
think
some
that this-
attention.
that you really think that Mr. Tisdat is going home and he's thanking his wife for making that call? Or do you really think that behind closed doors he's telling her, shut your frickin' yap? I can't believe the trouble you got me in calling all my students snot-nosed brats. What are you, nuts?
I'm sure that he said, you know, I appreciate it. He wasn't angry at her. I think that, you know, he likes her support. You have to be, you have to say,
her.
I'm sure why do you always think there's something bad in the marriage?
Well, Terry.
When all she's trying to do is defend him, she loves her husband. She knows that he's got, you know, a really difficult job. It's full of pressure.
I don't know. She just sounds like a woman that's not happy with her life.
Well, she's not happy with the fact that some 18-year-old kid is trying to make her husband's life miserable, and it's already hard enough as it is. They're fine.
I don't see that being where the frustration is coming from.
Well,
I see her, yes, yelling about one thing, but really being angry and frustrated about something else. Doo-doo-doo. And she pointed out that her husband is really never home. Up at 4 in the morning, and out all night at meetings for the snot brat kids. I'm sure she's thought about
who don't appreciate the things that he may be doing for that school.
Right. Hey, you want a snow day? You're expecting a snow day. It stings a little bit when you don't get a snow day.
Call the damn weather person then. Call the damn weather people. They're the ones who predicted it. Call their home. Call them at home.
It wasn't the most appropriate thing for her to call the principal. But for a reaction like this, for some 18-year-old to have to listen to her voicemail and hear some principal's wife screaming at her at such a high tone and such high intensity to her, you don't need that.
Wow.
All right?
I like it when my spouse supports me and comes to my aid and can yell at anybody whoever he feels disrespects me. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care how much criticism he may get or anything like that, because I would do the same.
Oh, your boobs are really perking up right now on Tari Cam. That's right. You stick to your guns.
Hold on, I'm going to zoom in. Hang on just a second.
By the way, I'm getting tons of, because you can private message, throughout the chat.
Yeah.
And I'm getting people over from Europe and Brazil. It's pretty crazy.
Wow, we're listened to all over the world now.
Yeah.
We're a global enterprise now. Tari Cam has made it to foreign lands.
Yes.
Let me go to the phones. A lot of people are, believe it or not, Tari, agreeing with you. I'm sure some disagree. I don't know. It looks like everyone agrees with you, and they think I'm crazy. Aaron in Pittsburgh, you're on the air.
What's going on, T-Man?
How are you, my friend?
All right, I've come to the conclusion that you're pretty freaking crazy. I would go crazy on some little crazy-ass kid if they called me at 4 o'clock or whenever for a freaking snow day. I'm from California. We got no snow days. And so I can't understand why she would call. Just go to school. If she's a straight-A student, it shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
Well, maybe you're in an area of California where you didn't become accustomed to the feeling of the snow day. I'm originally from New York, and snow days are vital to break up the monotony of the winter as far as the school year is concerned.
Vital.
And when you have the weather forecast, and it'd be nice to be able to blame the weatherman, but weathermen have always been pretty lame. So when you wake up in the morning expecting to be off that day because you were told it was going to be a blizzard, and it's a close call situation as opposed to the blizzard, which would have been a slam dunk school closed situation, it stings. And when you look up and you see all the other schools are pretty much closed, if you have the principal's number, I would have done the same thing. Now, I wouldn't have been right in doing it, but I could understand it. And I don't expect some principal's wife to be calling, screaming at me like a banshee who I don't know from a hole in the wall. That was out of line.
Hey, so if I was able to locate your number because you didn't do a broadcast on MLK Day while I was driving to work and got your voicemail and was like, where the hell you at, T-Man? Why don't you freaking work on MLK Day? You're not black. You can work on MLK Day.
I would take your call.
Got that message and called me.
I would take your call. We would have had a lovely conversation. We would have met for lunch, and I
think the wife would have first called and been like, "Don't call the husband. He was so hard."
Yeah, my wife would never do that. She only does that for me. I think it's a sign of respect that you take off for Martin Luther King Day as opposed to showing up on the day that is supposed to signify and show respect for the late Martin Luther King and labor on that day. We took off that day because I feel it's a sign of respect, and it would be disrespectful to show up to work that day. So don't you tell me that I did wrong, and if you had my number, you would have called me telling me to get to work. My gosh. And when I'm not here for Arbor Day, you'll know I'm just showing respect for the trees.
Yeah, I think it's inappropriate for her to call back. I mean, if she answered and said that to her, that's one thing, but for her to call back and leave a message is also pretty inappropriate.
Finally, some sensibility here. But if she
somebody
realizing that T-Man may be onto something.
But understand that it sounds like...
The callback is wrong. The callback, if she answers and says that, then I'm okay with it.
But if she answers and it's spur of the moment and she's caught off guard like that, yes. But this makes it premeditated. When she dialed the number, when she was calling, because she had the number on caller ID, this 18-year-old back, that should have been enough time for her to think this through and say, okay, this is not an adult. This is, yes, an 18-year-old, but which is older than a lot of kids in high school, but still, an 18-year-old. I don't need to be calling this kid, screaming my lungs out, calling her a snot-nosed brat when I don't know her, first of all, from a hole in the wall, and I shouldn't be doing it even if I do.
Yeah,
She got her husband
not okay
in big trouble. She made him look bad, Terry.
Oh, wow.
As I said.
Well, they're headed for divorce court then, because the marriage was in shambles anyway.
I'm not saying that they're headed for divorce court, Terry, but I will stick to it. That I major in reverse psychology at the Wharton School of Business, Terry. I will tell you that all my days being educated in the field of psychology tell me, really not one, that this woman was not yelling because she got so worked up over this phone call to her husband. Yes, she was bothered by that, but most of that frustration goes much deeper than that, Terry. She has a resentment towards these kids overall because she feels that's what's straining her marriage because she never gets to see her husband. When the reality is, even if the husband didn't have these requirements that take him away from her for all these hours, he'd be out in the streets doing whatever anyway because he can't stand her and her big yap. That's the truth. She may not be aware of that, but I am. She may not know what time it is, but I know what time it is, Terry. I know which way the wind is blowing in this woman's life, even though she doesn't. Oh, the wind is blowing a lot harder than that. Even harder. Wow. That's the one.
That's the noise I make when parents of kids call my house to talk to my wife, who's a teacher.
Mike in San Francisco, good morning to you.
So you understand because you know how stressful your wife's job is. When you have,
If a parent called our home to rip my wife, I would have to intervene, yes.
Right.
If a parent called your home.
Right.
If a parent called this principal and the lady wanted to call back, it may not have been the smartest thing to do, but it would have been a lot more, or it wouldn't have been as inappropriate as calling back an 18-year-old student and screaming at her on her voicemail.
Right.
I'm fine.
I'm waiting for a parent to call. I can't wait.
I know you're fine, Terry, even though you know I'm right. Mike, go ahead. Maybe you don't think so. Anyway.
Hey, how's it going, T-Man?
Mike is a teacher, and he'd like to lend his point of view. Yes.
Good.
All these people disagreeing with me, Terry.
First of all, I totally agree with Aaron in Pittsburgh, and I got Terry's back on this. I'm a teacher at a middle school, and the worst thing that would ever happen is for a student to get a personal home phone number of a teacher or an administrator, because they're going to spread it like wildfire. And to assume that this is the first thing that this kid has done like this is probably an understatement.
What are you talking about? First of all, Mike, there's no privacy when it comes to phone numbers these days. Any phone number is accessible. For you to all of a sudden realize that a student can get a teacher or a principal's phone number in 2008 is kind of interesting. That you thought these situations were private. There's no privacy like that these days.
Well, you said respect the privacy by not calling them. I mean, you can get the number, but you shouldn't call them. You can get anybody's phone number, but you should leave them alone at home.
That's true, and I mean, I'm not condoning what this woman did, but I've never met an administrator that's married because of the fact that their job takes so much of their life.
And I wasn't necessarily condoning that this girl, this 18-year-old, called the principal, but it doesn't even come close to being nearly the violation that the wife did by calling her back and screaming at her on her voicemail. Not to mention the stupidity level of screaming on anyone's voicemail, knowing the day that we're living in right now, where everything is put up on YouTube and everything is thrown up on this side and that side, and this wound up on Extra. This guy is now a laughingstock because his wife is screaming at this 18-year-old in front of the whole country.
Oh, and the 18-year-old's so innocent. I mean, of course, the straight-A student could never be disrespectful in any way.
Terry hates 18-year-old girls.
No, I just think that you're hearing one side of the story.
I love them.
And because she's an 18-year-old girl and God, I mean, she's probably really hot. I just think that we're only hearing one side, and this is exactly what she wanted to do. I agree with the teacher who's on the phone. This is probably not the only time that this student, although a straight-A student, probably has done something like this.
And if they're a straight-A student, they'd probably know better than doing something like this.
Yeah. Okay, listen. A lot of people want to talk about this, Terry. I don't want to fall too far behind. I even got the ham sandwich man on the line waiting for his comments. This has inspired him to call.
Terry, you look great.
Thank you.
Oh, the man's checking you out. It's teacher Terry.
Are you in class?
Very reputable teacher who's on his way to class made sure to stop and getting himself ready this morning to check you out on Terry Cam, obviously, at thetmanshow.com. What does that say about him, Terry? Where's his credibility just gone? Where? Answer me!
School probably hasn't started for him. He doesn't have the 0-hour classes.
You want a snow day, and you don't get it. It stings.
Well,
trust me on that.
Then call the weather person. Call the weather person. They predicted it.
Let's call meteorologist Tom Hutler. Or whatever your local.
Well, is it any different than calling the principal?
That sounded like a really good meteorologist name.
That's what I was hoping for.
Tom Hutler.
What's up with you and the Doppler 5000?
Right. Is that any
your
different?
Money back for that piece of crap.
Not any different.
Why do they even have weather people? They're always wrong. Who cares?
What are they up to with the Doppler now? Are they up to 10,000, 15,000? What are they up to with the Doppler?
Triple Dopplers now.
They have
Triple Dopplers.
Triple Doppler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With your pinpoint weather forecast?
Yeah, that is always wrong.
They can tell you the weather on Mars. Slightly cloudy with a chance of showers.
1-866-663-T-Man, back with more after these words.
The T-Man Show.
Janisha, baby.
Hello.
Janisha, my love.
Yes, hello.
Where have you been?
I've been training.
You haven't called for over a month.
I've been listening. I just have been training and stuff.
What are you training there?
I'm sorry?
What are you training for, Terry wants to know?
I'm still doing my bobsledding.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. And where are you headed right now? What are you doing today? Sounds like you're in your car right now. What are you going to?
I am. I'm like stuck in the bridge traffic. Yeah.
Bobsled.
Yeah, remember?
Don't you just lay down? What's the train for?
Well, you have to push it.
I have to be able to push it on ice. It's like 500 pounds.
You go ahead and do that. We'll see how
I push 500 pounds every day.
Not in the snow or ice.
Nice. Oh, my God. But with this story, guys, T-Man, I totally agree with you. And for several reasons.
Of course you do. That's why I was waiting for your call. Finally, someone with some common sense, Terry. Yes, Janisha.
Okay, this is why. Well, I lived upstate New York in the suburbs of, like, Rochester, so we always had ice storms.
And what city you live in now? What city is your home now?
Concord.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and so, they would always pass out, the teachers, administrators, they always had the papers with everyone's information on it. And my town was so small that I actually, my neighbors were, the principal and my teachers. So one time it was an ice storm, and my school was the only school that did not get out. And so I knocked right on the door of the principal and was like, dude, this is not even cool. Why are we the only school in? And
Terry, if you see Janisha, that could be seen as threatening, Terry. She's a tall girl. She's like 5'10".
No, I know
She's not playing around.
I am.
Well, that's small town circumstances.
Right.
That's different, though.
It's a whole different ballgame.
It's a cozy little community.
Yes.
I was even going to say that is Little House in the Prairieville.
Right.
Boy, when Mary lost her eyesight.
Different than a big school in Virginia where the principal doesn't necessarily even know every student, even though he should. And he's getting a call from this one, and it's not necessarily the cozy little neighborhood that you grew up in, Janisha.
Right.
Well, no, but at the same time, I know my school, we had about 20 snow days for the entire year, and you don't really use them all. So this lady calling back the students, she hit her behind with...
Well, it depends on the district. It depends on the district. Where Janisha grew up, it may have been 20 because she grew up in an area that snowed all the time. And you can't comment on this unless you've grown up in an area where you're used to having a couple of times a year at least a snow day or two. Because you don't know the feeling of being in high school and expecting you may have the day off. Maybe this isn't applying to you, Terry, where all of a sudden you have the whole day mapped out on how you're going to spend your free day. And then you wake up the next day and the weatherman was wrong. And in this case, it was a close call and most of the schools are closed. And you're finding out that your school, your principal is the one who wants to sleigh ride in. Screw him. Get me his number. What is he thinking?
It's a bad feeling, no question.
Yeah,
especially when you get up extra early to find out.
Right. And you're watching the news like crazy going, please
you're up
name
2
my
hours
school.
early for what?
And that's what happened here. And I'm not saying the student was doing the right thing by calling the principal and questioning his judgment. That was probably an error in judgment, but not nearly the error that followed with the school principal's wife? Who the hell is this woman calling an 18-year-old back and saying this?
How dare you call us at home? If you've got a problem with going to school, you do not call somebody's house and complain about it.
You're listening to the angry phone message left by a school administrator's wife berating a student for calling her husband at home.
My husband has been at the office since 6:30 this morning. The go-to even suggests that he purposely didn't answer his phone. He is out almost every single night of the week at meetings for snotty-nosed little brats.
Snotty-nosed little brats. Yes.
Pretty accurate.
I'm sure he's at the bar a couple of times a week, by the way, when you think he's at meetings for the snotty-nosed little brats. I'm sure he's out with a school administrator of the female persuasion having a little business dinner, Terry. When he should be either doing work like you think he's doing or at home with his wife. I wouldn't rule that out as a possibility, Terry. You know, the home ec teacher that's always, walking by the principal's office with her little apron on, just asking to be taken to dinner, you know what I'm talking about?
Man.
Love that. Stick that one in the oven, call it a school day. That's why maybe this wife was so frustrated. Because if she wasn't with this kind of overall level of frustration, this wasn't a just isolated incident of frustration, that's not what it seems like to me, Terry, she would have done the appropriate thing. And the appropriate thing, leave it to the T-Man to always tell you what the appropriate thing is, Terry. The appropriate thing is, first of all, go to the TManShow.com and see what Terry looks like this morning. And number two...
Missed the GIF in my face.
Because now... I see the GIF in your face every day, Terry.
Yeah.
And now... and GIF is synonymous with my dick. Excuse me.
Crunchy or creamy?
Hopefully not crunchy.
Well, it depends on my mood.
You need to go get tested.
I'm getting sidetracked here.
Crunchy.
The appropriate thing.
Oh, my gosh.
The TManShow.com. By the way, they moved Terry Cam to the front page for anyone.
Oh, did they finally? Yeah.
Finding the link. And also that picture of Britney Spears showing up in her latest courthouse gear is also up on the TManShow.com right now. But the appropriate thing.
Your peanut butter got in my chocolate.
If she wasn't filled. That's what Terry's husband's saying. The appropriate thing, if she wasn't filled with hostility overall, would have been to tell her husband exactly what happened and have her husband call the student into the principal's office and just point out to that student how inappropriate it is to call a principal at home because you have some problem with his judgment. That would have been the right thing. Not to call the student back and start screaming like a banshee, Terry. That ain't right. I said that ain't right.
My husband has been at the office since 6:30 this morning. The go-to even suggests that he purposely didn't answer his phone. He is out almost every single night of the week at meetings for snotty-nosed little brats.
I bet he is, baby.
Wow.
I bet he is. But now it's time to move on from this story. So what else is going on? For those who didn't make it on with their comments, I'm sorry. You know the way it is. You know that there's no need for any further debate. Mm-hmm. We have all come to the conclusion that I'm all over this one like everything else. What else is happening, please, Terry? Be free. What else
just
is
to
going
let
on?
you know, I know you're a huge fan of this show, but Ugly Betty is on tonight, and Gabrielle Union. It's a new episode.
How could they have a new episode? How could the writer strike? There's no new episodes going on these days. What is Ugly Betty writing her own scripts now, or what?
She may be, because well, I think that they had some in the can, and when the writers,
that makes two of you, Terry.
When the strike happened, I think unlike some of the other shows, they didn't waste all of the, the pre-recorded stuff and held off and did some reruns and so on and so forth. So that's why they have some. So that ought to be good.
So you got a little extra in the can.
Yes.
Got it.
Love Ugly Betty, by the way. American Idol, apparently...
You always told us you weren't into the...
No.
Go ahead, American Idol what?
American Idol apparently couldn't beat the NFL playoffs. NFL playoffs came in 1-2. And
1-2.
1-2.
Really?
Yes.
I knew the NFC game, Green Bay against the Giants, considering the elements, considering the FAR factor, considering, that appeal of watching football players play for such a hefty prize with sub-zero temperatures going on out there would attract a mainstream major audience. But I didn't think the AFC game would get a really big rating. You're saying that came in number 2?
No, the New York Giants and Green Bay Packers game actually came in number 1, and then the...
That's what she said.
Yeah.
And what came in number 2?
Is the other
AFC.
one, the AFC.
So the AFC game came in number 2 for all the shows that week. For all the shows of the week, you're saying the AFC Championship game came in number 2. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
I didn't think it would be that high. Well, that's all right, whatever.
Yeah, and then American Idol, the Tuesday's premiere came in number 3, and 4 was Wednesdays. So
it was NFC, AFC, American Idol, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of American Idol, they've already have one of their contestants who made it through. Apparently this contestant made it through on Tuesday's little tryout. They found out, of course, that he has a record.
Well, when you have this many people trying out, you can't be fingerprinting everyone. So you can't immediately come up with everyone's entire life history.
Perry Cataldo, he apparently is a single dad. I guess he gave a whole, sob story about he's changed his life, so on and so forth. But
and maybe he has. Why can't they give anyone a second chance on American Idol? If you have a record of any kind, they tell you you're not allowed to be a part of their such wholesome-like show? Or
well,
what?
I think American Idol likes
There's
to...
no such thing as forgiveness as far as American Idol's concerned, or what?
Well, and I'm not positive, but isn't American Idol, don't they run background checks, and they like to,
But even if they ran a background check and found out somebody has been convicted of some crime in the past, but they've done whatever time needed to be done, and they are now rehabilitated to whatever degree the court system found it to be sufficient, why is American Idol saying, well, no, you're not squeaky clean enough to be on our show?
Well, you want an American Idol with a record?
A past record is no problem with me.
Okay,
some ex-cons, some thugs.
Well, then don't call it American Idol, because I don't think...
oh, please.
You shouldn't idolize a convict.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Why shouldn't you idolize someone who did wrong, has now seen the light, did their time, and wants to better their life?
You don't get a second chance in this country.
Apparently not. Carlos, you're on the air. Hello.
Hey, good morning, T-Man. How are you?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. I just called in this morning, and
you don't
I was hoping you can give me some advice.
All right. You say you're doing pretty good, but I don't know, maybe this is you in your upbeat tone, but you don't sound very chipper this morning, Carlos. So I am assuming there's a problem in your social life, maybe a relationship issue. Is that what we're getting at, or something in the workplace? What's the deal?
Well, okay, well, here's the thing. Remember the party play in Vegas last year?
Yes, I think I have a little memory of that, yes.
Yeah, well, I was on that sucker, and well, the last night that I was there after Club Jet, I ended up going to the bar that was right in front of it, and I ended up meeting a MILF there.
A what? A mister?
A MILF.
Oh, a MILF.
A MILF there.
A MILF there, he said.
Okay.
Mister.
Yeah, mister.
Hello, Roger. Good to meet you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I went to Jet that night too. I don't know if I saw you there or not, but all right, so you went and you wound up hooking up with a MILF that was on our plane, or is there someone that happened to be at the club that night? Because there were a couple of MILFs on the party plane to Vegas, Terry. And just to give you an update, should I give you an update on what's going on for this year's... Because we're coming to the season for the party plane to Vegas, Terry.
Yeah, I just figured we were doing party plane.
I'll give you an update in a little bit. No, we're trying to do something bigger and better, Terry. Not that there could be such a thing. But we're attempting to go to the next level. I'll give you an update. I'll give you an update on that.
Okay.
After Carlos's problem is solved, and that's exactly what I intend to do for Carlos. I can't believe this is a problem that started about a year ago, but whatever. So is this girl someone that was with our group or no, Carlos?
No, she was just there.
Just a random club girl that was at Jet that night that was of MILF status.
Mm-hmm.
And just so we're completely clear on this, to be a MILF, Terry, because there's been some debate over this, I say a MILF is anyone from, what did I say in the past, Terry? I want to make sure I'm consistent here. I don't want to waver, because I can't remember what the hell I said from
the age, I'm not positive on the age, but
I'm thinking 29 to like 44.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Is a nice wide range for your MILF situation.
Right.
Now, cougar, you got to be talking, the cougar and MILFs are two different things, although they can be the same person. A cougar, Terry, is more like 34, 35 to 47.
Right. How about 50? Because don't you have some...
You want to go to 50?
Yeah,
let's
go
stretch it to 50 for you?
Yes.
That gives you a couple of extra years?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because I think I fall under the cougar
If she's
thing.
50, you won't need to stretch it.
Yeah.
All right, you met a MILF. What was the age of this woman you met at Jet?
Well, I guess you cleared it up for me. I guess she might be a cougar then.
Well, what was the age of the woman you met?
She was 35.
All right, well, that falls into both categories.
Yeah.
She could have been a MILF. She could have been a cougar.
Yeah, didn't you hear T-Man? He said it could
I said
be the
MILF
same.
was 29 to 44.
Yeah, I pounced right on that.
28 to 44. You pounced right on her?
Pounced right on it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of going to clubs. That's the beauty of going to clubs in Vegas. You know you got a hotel room right nearby. You know that you could be very opportunistic, and the situation, the circumstances couldn't be better with the stars lining up, with the alcohol consumption, Terry, with the Vegas feel, with the risque nature you tend to have more than ever in Vegas, with the hotel room right nearby. Everything is perfectly set up in Las Vegas, and that whole brainwashing PR little lingo they've given us over the years of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas ain't hurting either.
I'm going to buy me a pink cowboy hat. It's going to give me character.
Have you been following me around the casino?
God, I hate that. When's that going to stop?
I look really good with the boots.
You do look great with a pink cowboy hat on, yes.
Carlos, what happened after you hooked up with the MILF?
Well, I got her number, but she wasn't the only number that I got. I guess she lived in L.A., and there was a girl the night before that I hooked up with as well that was also from L.A., and I kept on getting the numbers mixed around, and, I decided to go for the better of the two. And
Wait a minute, are you saying, first of all, did you have sex with her that night or no? Did you screw her the night you met her at Jet or no?
Yeah.
You did. You met at Jet. A lot of people just start tonguing right there in the middle of the whole club, Terry. I don't know if you've been to Jet, but that night especially, I can see it in my mind. A lot of faces pressed together, Terry, in that club, right by the bar, hanging over the bar, everywhere. And Carlos, were you going at it at all in the club, or you waited to just begin getting physical outside the club? What happened? Tell me the details of that night, real quick.
Actually, I had left the club, and I went to the bar that was right in front of it. And that's where I started talking to her, and about 20 minutes later, I was already kissing her and taking her up to my room, and there I just...
I don't know, Terry. Does Carlos sound like the type that has the mouthpiece to get that kind of situation done?
Well, no, not
Carlos
really.
Is like, his voice is putting me to sleep right now, first of all, and he's trying to get us to believe.
Yeah.
Trying to get us to believe that he was capable. You must look really good. Is that what it is, Carlos, or what? I'm not saying you got a terrible personality. I'm just saying you sound, maybe you're a little tired this morning, but you sound a little kind of blah. Are you a great-looking guy or what?
Yeah. Well, I can liven up. Well, I had like about half a 3-yard long margarita that night, so I was pretty talkative. And
are you a real good-looking guy, Carlos, or no?
I would say I'm about a scale of 1 to 10, a perfect 20.
Okay.
There's a little bit of arrogance.
All right, so you took her. That actually helps. You took her to your room or her room? Which room did you go to? Whose room?
Took her to my room.
You took her to your room, and you like totally just pounding away. You're raw dogging her. You're having you're stopping to put on a condom. What are you doing with the 30-something-year-old woman?
Actually, yeah, it was pretty much up on our way to the elevator. I could barely keep her off of me, and
so did you take it out in the elevator or no?
Going down?
I mean, I was just pretty much some really dry groping. And
did you take it out of your drawers in the elevator? That's a no?
Oh, my gosh.
I just got to know, Terry. Come on.
Why? Really?
Yes,
I hope not.
Somebody's going to see.
Please
did you, yes or no, Carlos? Yes or no? Real quick, just answer the question so we can move on. Yes or no?
What?
Jeez, I got to ask the question again. Did you take it out of your drawers? Okay, so you waited till you got to the room and then you had sex with her. Did you wear a condom? Yes or no?
No.
You didn't wear a condom. Did you finish
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. On their belly button.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, I think.
And now the lasting effect of this is what? You were supposed to call her and you wound up calling her friend accidentally, or what are you telling me?
No. Well, I decided to, go for the MILF. I mean, I've never had a MILF. And so...
Well, you had it that night.
I hooked up with some Asian girl, too, but, I'd just let her go.
So he went for the
What's
MILF.
your question here, Carlos? Besides you trumpeting how good a hookup master you are, what's your question?
Okay, well, we talked for a while. I even went to go visit her in L.A. because I would go down there once in a while. And
Really?
I would just swing by. And, it was probably like 3 months that I let this go on, and she just keeps calling me, and 3 months later, she was already asking me to move in with her, that she would take care of me, that, it's all right that I leave my job, that she'll support me.
Wow.
I'm in.
So she's your little sugar mama.
That oxycontin, Terry, whatever that hormone is that you talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
She's totally nesting with him now. She's totally feeling like they're a couple. She's so she's getting a little too carried away with how serious you guys are, is your feeling. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, she was...
Well, have you told her that?
She wanted my babies.
She
what was that?
She was telling me that she wanted my babies.
All right. Have you told her to chill out a little bit? Have you given her any lingo like that to indicate that maybe you're not as ready to jump into a complete couple's lifestyle like it looks like she's interested in? Have you given her any indication of that, or you keep leading her on?
Yeah,
what's the reality?
Yeah, I have made it very clear to her. I'm not really interested in, having kids. I'm not ready to, map out my life right now. And
all right, so then where's the problem? You've laid it on the line.
Walk away, right?
She calls me at 4 in the morning,
If he's telling her to slow up a little bit and she's unwilling to slow up, Terry, you got to cut ties.
Right. Well,
unfortunately, that's what she has, given him no other choice in figuring out here. If you tell someone, okay, I'm not comfortable with how fast this is going, I know maybe we established things early and maybe I led you on, I'm sorry if that's the case, too bad, but we got to chill out or else I'm feeling really uncomfortable here. If she is unwilling to do that or incapable of doing that, or even if it's a reverse situation, Terry, you got to cut ties.
Okay.
Because that is not the proper way to treat anyone.
Yeah, a little overwhelming on her part. Sure, I agree with you on that.
I gotta take a break.
Oh, jeez.
All right, Carlos. So tell her to chill, or that's all. End of story.
Sounds like what happened to
maybe
Vegas.
That sounds a little callous.
Yeah, it didn't stay in Vegas. I'm taking the shirt back. Liars.
That's the way it has to be.
The T-Man Show.
A troubled star haunted by his dark roles. Late nights, drinking.
Terry, you haunted by your dark roles or what?
Every day when I look down at him.
So you're telling me everything I said during the break went over the air?
Yes.
When I was swearing like a truck driver, that went over the air?
Well, according to who? Well, I would have if we didn't dump it, yes.
He dumped.
So I didn't even have my microphone on.
That is scary.
And things went over the air.
That is scary.
I'm getting messages now that everything I said during the break was going over the air. And I was saying curse words. I didn't have my microphone on. How could it go over the air?
Who knows?
I don't know. I'm not an engineer.
That's the way they have it set up down there.
Yeah.
It's the little talkback thing, I think.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, we dumped everything possible.
I said mother effer. I said a lot of things.
Did he quit or something? I thought you mailed it in.
Right. We're like, woo-hoo-hoo.
Should be good. Everyone dumped everywhere.
Okay, good.
I know I did. I stood on the dump button, so.
Yeah, you did.
But did you dump the curse words? Okay, good. Anyway, I don't know. That's weird. I give up. That's fine. If it went over the air, that's wonderful. I don't care. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, about Terry's dark roles.
Yes.
You loving them? Okay, good.
And I said, Diane's
Star haunted by his dark roles, late nights, drinking, and his chilling words about death and his 2-year-old daughter, Matilda.
I feel good about dying now because I feel like I'm alive in her. But at the same hand, you don't want to die because you want to be around for the rest of her life.
Yeah, that was a very telling interview. I don't know if it's still up on the front page of the TManShow.com, but the one we put up yesterday where he's scratching away, he's uncomfortable in his own skin, he's having that withdrawal type syndrome where you're itching, your whole body is very clear that this was a man who was not doing well. he had some serious problems that either people were just pretending like they weren't picking up on, or if they didn't pick up on it, then they weren't really in tune with what was going on with him, Terry, because he did not look well.
I know.
In that interview that I assume is still on the website that everyone should go see, it is clear that is a dude who's having a major drug issue.
Yeah, a little withdrawal there.
How come all these shows come out? Well, these shows come out and they say, well, look at the drug problem, but no one says anything before he dies, If they were so dialed in, why wouldn't they say something after the interview?
But they'll follow Lindsay Lohan around every block, every corner.
Smoking a cigarette.
Maybe she benefits from that to some degree, being under the microscope and in the camera every second, and that doesn't allow her to get too carried away like Heath Ledger, who was under the radar and had some major drug issues that are clear now that no one even was aware of one iota.
But at the same hand, you don't want to die because you want to be around for the rest of her life.
Just weeks before
gosh.
these two women, a maid and a masseuse, found his naked body inside his Manhattan apartment, Heath gave this
Now, the fact that he was naked, maybe this means nothing to you, but to me, that almost indicates like it was more of a suicide than a drug overdose.
Well, but the thing is that they say what makes sense about him being naked is that he was getting ready for a massage or whatever, and maybe he's just one of those
could
people.
Be something to that. But when you, believe it or not, those who have commit suicide, there is a large number of people, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination majority, but there's some feeling like you get back to the state in which you were born. You get naked, and then you decide to take your own life. So the fact that I hear that he was naked in his bed and he had OD'd, that still, I'm not saying it leads me to feel confident that he committed suicide, but it gives me a little bit more of a feeling that this may have been more of a suicide than a drug accidental overdose.
Wow, I've never heard that. You go back to your natural state when you want to kill yourself?
Elephants go back to where they were born when they die. And there's some feeling of when and if you are in a terrible mental state that makes you feel like you want to take your own life, you tend sometimes to strip off your clothing if you're preparing to do such a thing.
Heath gave this ominous interview to Cleveland TV station WJW.
I think you have to appreciate the past, and I think regret is a very kind of it's a dangerous field to step into.
Extras learned Michelle Williams, his former girlfriend, and Matilda's mother got the devastating news while filming in Sweden and rushed back to the United States. Today, autopsy results came back inconclusive. Police say they found no illegal drugs in his apartment. There are conflicting reports about a rolled-up $20 bill discovered near his body. Although police say there was no residue on it, they will run tests.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, everyone rolls up 20s and puts them right in their wallet. Right, Terry?
Oh, sure.
Sure.
I roll them up.
Explanation.
Put them in a cigarette box. It's a better way to carry them.
There's a million explanations for rolling up 20s, Terry. Yes. Every time I go to Walgreens, I just take out my rolled up 20s and
lay it on the counter. Here you go.
It's like a big Crayola can, 64 box. You just stick them all in there and pull them out as you need them, and sharpen them too if you need.
You got irons in this store.
Right.
Flatten it out and stick it in your register. What are you looking at me all funny for? What's on your pile of stuff right now, Terry? What's going on?
Well, I have a story about a couple who got kicked off a bus in England because the gentleman had his girlfriend on a leash.
Oh.
Yes, the bus driver.
The bus driver kicked him off. The bus driver felt that was a little bit too much for him, for his bus, for his route. He's not taking the other human along his path on a leash.
Yeah, it was. He felt it was unnecessary.
Does he allow pets on his bus, Terry? If a man came on the bus with a dog on a leash, is that okay, or is that also against the rules of his bus?
I'm not sure because that doesn't say anything about that.
Well, I haven't been a dog owner in a while, Terry. What's the latest ruling on whether you're allowed to take your dog on a bus? They pretty much are against that on your typical city buses, or what?
If it's not a service dog, I don't think they're allowed on.
Yeah, I think service dogs, they have to be recognized as a service dog to be let on.
The bus smells like pee enough. They don't need dogs on there, too.
It was a man taking his girlfriend on the bus.
Yes.
And she was on a leash. Mm-hmm. Maybe he just was very concerned that if he took his eyes off her, she would run into traffic. I don't know why.
Who knows? Different people like different things. Maybe that's it.
This was probably more likely a sexual S&M kind of situation they had going on.
Yeah.
I Maybe they're not into S&M at all, and he had completely other reasons for keeping her on a leash. I don't know, but do you feel it was appropriate that the bus driver has the ability to make decisions on what he deems appropriate as far as getting from A to B?
Yes, I do.
Are bus drivers typically allowed to be the one and only ruling body on who and how someone is able to ride on a bus in a typical downtown city, or what? Is that usually the case?
I think so.
I don't like what you're wearing. You're not riding my bus today. I don't like the way your hair looks. Please leave now. And definitely don't step over the yellow line.
Hey, what's the deal with the yellow line? They're very vigilant about this.
They are.
Well, sometimes they're white, sometimes they're yellow, sometimes they're even red. Anyway, does that seem like the way to go about this? The bus driver has such power?
Well, he is the person in control of the bus, so sure.
Terry, I'm aware of how the bus situation works. And the bus driver, yes, is navigating that fine, big, moving vessel down the streets of our cities, and I'm just wondering how much power we're willing to give the bus driver and where the power may end, where the line gets drawn. Now, maybe you're comfortable with the fact that he kicked off the two adults. I'm assuming they were adults, Terry. One had the other on a leash, and he said, I'm sorry, that's too much for me. Get the hell off my bus. Maybe most people out there will be perfectly fine with that. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it's okay with me. But I just want to know, at what point does the line get drawn? All right, bus driver, you're out of line. You can't be telling everyone who could get on and off your bus.
I think he's screwing up the role playing. I agree. He shouldn't be. He should keep his judgment to himself.
Well, but the thing is that if it's up to him, because he does control the bus, and I think that if it's going to be a distraction for him as a driver or make him uncomfortable, then he has every right to do that.
Well, that's his problem.
And maybe it's uncomfortable for the other people, too, on the bus.
Everybody on the bus makes me uncomfortable.
If I'm the bus driver and two people get on a leash, I keep a note of that, but I don't throw them off unless all of a sudden they become an issue to the safety of the bus.
And maybe that is an issue for him that he has to decide.
Oh, geez. We finally found a way to get Terry to shut up. Now we're really having issues. I don't know what the hell. Should we just call it a day or what?
Why? What happened?
Huh? Anyone going to figure it out?
What happened?
Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Hello?
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 You can't hear us.
We're off the air? So I can curse up a storm again now or what?
Oh,
no, I don't know about that.
No, don't do that.
I shouldn't? But we're off the air.
Can you hear us?
So why shouldn't I be able to just absolutely go off right now like I feel like doing?
Uh-oh.
Are we on the air? Are we off the air? Hello!
You can't hear us?
You can't hear us.
I guess not.
No, I feel like kill breath. Oh. So we're off the air. Is that right?
People online can hear.
Right.
The T-Man Show.
Why are you hitting that? As I was saying, Terry.
Yes.
Oh, you can actually hear me now.
Yes.
Wow. So you could hear me before, but I couldn't hear you? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Correct.
Well, wonderful.
We were saying hello, hello, hello.
I felt like I was talking to my wife.
Oh, wow.
Just wonderful. And I felt like I was talking to mine because she wasn't talking back. Anyway, all I know is everything went dark on my end. Not that that's the first time it's happened even today. Mm-hmm. But, and as some people may be aware, but others may not, on many a week, we do this show from different studios. Like this week, I'm in the studio of Wild 94.9 in the Bay Area. Terry's up at KUBE 93 in Seattle. And Pasty's down here. Are we going to the Golden State Warrior again, by the way, tonight? Yep. Okay, good. And they're playing the Nets. Should be at 1 game. And all I know is my communication with you got cut out. And why? Did we find out during the break that happened? You want to know? You want to know the reason?
Geez.
Sure.
Doesn't sound good.
There are so many radio stations in every building these days that they start working against each other, whether they even realize it or not. It was up in Seattle. They were taping a very vital interview, from what I understand, with the head coach of Bethune-Cookman, Terry.
Right,
because these are the kinds of programming necessities you have to have on a sports radio station to make 24-hour sports talk a reality. Oh, what a stellar interview that must be that they're taping right now with the head coach of Bethune-Cookman. And they switched a couple of switches, and they turned a couple of knobs, and there went my connection with you.
Nice. Thanks.
But, is that Bethune-Cookman head coach saying so much about his basketball team right now, Terry?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure the listeners will find it so stimulating and absolutely riveting that I think it was well worth the fact that our conversation just got cut off in midstream.
Very worth it.
Yes. And this is the beauty of radio, and I love it. It's the industry I chose, and I enjoy it more every day. It gets more fascinating by the minute. As I was saying, Terry.
Yes.
There's no reason. What was I saying? For this bus driver.
God, I'm shocked.
No reason.
To kick off these people. Although I don't have the biggest problem in the world with it, I wouldn't have done it myself unless they became an issue. And just him having her on a leash may indicate some issues that they have. But it's not an issue for the bus driver and the safety of other passengers necessarily, or the safety of him navigating his way down the street in a safe manner necessarily, Terry. It's something you might want to keep tabs on to see if the people that are kind of out there enough to be walking around town with him having her on a leash is going to be a situation where they may have other behaviors that are a little bit needing to be watched from minute to minute. But he was outside of his authority by kicking these two off the bus, in my opinion. Not what I would have done. But you are okay with writing a blank check to every bus driver. Oh, I don't like you, and I don't like your breath, and I don't like the way your hair looks, and oh, what kind of shade of lipstick did you choose? Get off my bus. That's nice, Terry. It's nice that you're so discriminating. It's wonderful. It's nice to know the people you work with every day are so hardcore. And now that you have had time to think about it during the impromptu break there, I'm sure you're going to reconsider and realize that maybe the T-Man is onto something that, what a change. That, yes, the guy who had his girlfriend on a leash should be maybe monitored a little bit, and you don't want your bus driver to be monitoring and be distracted from the roads, granted.
Right, because that is a safety issue if he's got to monitor and watch them.
I don't have to monitor him any more than any other person that gets on the bus, a little buzz, and that's part of the job, and you have to have a little peripheral vision, and I'm not saying he's got to be watching them dead on, but using your peripheral vision is something that you have to do for the safety of other passengers at all times on a bus. So it's nothing necessarily so out of the ordinary that he had to immediately throw them off the bus. Throwing them off the bus wasn't in line with what he should be capable of doing. They shouldn't be able to have this big gavel at the front of the bus and throw it down anytime they damn feel like it. You agree or disagree?
I think that if the bus driver truly feels that it could hinder something with the bus, whether it's their safety, the passenger's safety, or even
possibly could be hindered with the guy. Yes, it's a little peculiar, granted, as I said, Terry. Not necessarily something you see out there every day on the streets. Guy has his girlfriend on a leash.
Okay, let's say, for example, God forbid they get in an accident and something happens with the girl while she's on the leash. I mean, that's her safety as well.
On the back of every carved little visor there, it says those wearing leashes could be subjecting themselves to a lot more of a potential situation as if they didn't have leashes on. Yeah, I'm sure that's very much a study that's been done time and time again, that you're really putting yourself in major jeopardy if you're on a leash. Yeah, I'm not feeling your argument necessarily, Terry. But hey, I understand that people are uncomfortable around certain situations. You're not going to be the most comfortable person sitting next to the guy and girl on the bus when she's sitting there on a leash and probably loving every second of it like she should be.
You can do whatever you want on the bus. Just make sure you don't open the window more than 2 centimeters. Because they get really pissed for some reason. I'm a grown man. I know how to work a window, and it won't jump out, I promise.
Tiny would like to comment on the leash situation. Yes, geez. Tiny.
Oh, my God. I keep my wife on a chain all the time.
Oh, jeez. Tiny.
Try throwing Tiny off a bus, Terry, because aside from what his name may give you the impression of, he ain't so tiny.
No, he's not.
My thing is, why you gonna throw them off and the guy that's sitting behind me smelling like a pile of don't get thrown off?
Yes, there are a lot of questionable smelling people on the bus, Terry. Are we going to start taking smells into account? Is there a certain level of smell that can't be tolerated, that person is not able to ride? Keep in mind, the city bus, where everyone is pretty much a welcome passenger, last I checked, Terry.
If smelly people can't ride the bus, the whole system will collapse.
And yes.
What about the person, though, who is talking to themselves, maybe for whatever reason?
Now you're falling into our argument.
No.
Where do you draw the line on who you toss off the bus? There are all kinds of weirdos on the bus.
Right. And I agree with you on that, but I think that
this happened in England, where I assume they're more liberal than we even are here in the States.
And this lady's,
maybe not.
This lady's the Rosa Parks of the bondage world.
That's right.
Well, I just think it's not right if they can get on that funky, hurting my nose, but yet all I got is my wife on a chain. Don't everybody keep their wife on a chain?
Jesus.
If only that leash-wearing woman would have refused to get off the bus. Oh, it could have been a real banner day for all leash-wearing people across the country and across the world, Terry. The Rosa Parks of the leash-wearing humans would have been in the history books as of whenever this happened, like yesterday or a couple of days ago, whenever this took place, Terry.
Outkast is writing the lyrics right now.
What else is happening in this world, please? In this crazy world.
I don't know what's going on in Europe, but I have another story about a man who actually bought a mannequin, and then he tried to return it after his stuff got stuck in there while he was having sex with it.
Now, what if he tried to get on the bus with his mannequin, Terry?
His
bus driver the line there, too.
You're going to need fare for two.
Exactly.
All right.
So a guy actually buys a mannequin as opposed to all the people that are with these fetishes that wait till the security guard is eating his little tuna sandwich and then rips it off and runs for the parking lot.
Yeah.
This guy actually went about purchasing through a mannequin selling company a mannequin that was delivered to his house. And then he got his junk kind of wedged in there a little too tight for his liking, and now he's trying to get his money back?
Yeah.
Should at least get store credit. Something. A gift card or something.
I think that's fair. What else? What else is going on? Let me go to EJ real quick. EJ, what do you got? EJ, you there?
Yeah.
What would you like to say, sir?
Well, I mean, my dad was a bus driver for about 15 years down here in Tacoma. And they actually have the right to throw off anybody that they choose.
Yeah, I believe. I have no doubt that is the case. But I wonder how fair that is. Shouldn't there be like a guideline?
There is a guideline. Like what they do, they go report to their superiors that they get so many complaints about that. They get reviews and stuff. But I mean, my dad would kick young kids off.
Yeah, you know how people are these days.
For sagging their pants still.
Nobody has a tolerance for anybody. No one has tolerance for anything that they're not comfortable with. What if all these bus drivers of today just start throwing people off for reasons that just don't seem like they're very fair? Is that the kind of bus world we want to be living in?
Well, no, it's not all the way right, but I mean, like they can, but they have to know that by doing that they're subject to getting reviews and getting fired for it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair then. All right, very good then. Nice in San Jose. It's your turn. What do you got, Nice?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, I just got something to say about that bus. I come from the East Coast, and if they want to throw people off the bus, then they should have a sign on the bus that says right to refuse service to anybody, because I pay $1.75, and I should have a right to ride the bus. You know what I mean?
So you think the dude who got on the bus with his girlfriend on a leash...
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It's a business. It's a business. Are you going to refuse service to someone that has a turban on their head? You know what I mean? Yeah. See, I know you feel me, T-Man.
What about a turban and a leash attached to that turban? What about that?
That sounds hot. That's another thing. That's another thing. I didn't know.
And you could just yank the ruby right out of the turban with the leash.
Whoa!
Head into the pawn shop. Give me a guitar.
For girlfriend, so maybe I got to go buy a leash for my girlfriend.
And what if he starts whipping this girlfriend right in mid-bus flight, Terry? Because you know they fly.
Yeah.
Right in mid-flight, he starts just whipping her ass like crazy, Terry. Wouldn't that be just some great bus entertainment or what? You're losing out on a lot of entertainment by kicking some of these fine folks off. Mark in Seattle, what do you got? You've been waiting a long time, yes.
Hey, what's going on, team man?
How are you,
Mark.
sir?
I'm all right. This is Mark from the Emerald Downs contest.
All right, what can I do for you, my friend?
Man, the bus thing, come on, man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Anybody should be able to ride the bus. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, you pay
It's a city bus. You get what you got coming to you on the bus, Terry.
Well, as we heard from someone whose father worked as a bus driver, and, you know, they have that right.
When was the last time you rode the bus? T-Man?
Mark, you've been waiting. It's been a while. You've been waiting for an hour, so you obviously weren't waiting to talk about the bus because you weren't even knowing about the bus story an hour ago. So what were you...
Oh, well, no, I just wanted to say what's up, man. I haven't talked to you guys since I've been on the contest, and what's up with the party plane, man? I'm trying to get...
Yeah, you got to give us an update.
I'm going to give
Okay, are you going to do that now?
Not in a second. Big Joe and Gilroy's been waiting a while. What do you got, Big Joe? I'm going to roll with some calls now, Terry. Can't you see how great they are? Go ahead, Big Joe. What do you got?
What's up, G-Man? Just want to say what's up to everybody. That's it.
All right. See what a roll we're on, Terry?
Yeah, we are.
Kevin, you're on. What do you got, Kevin?
Well, couple that got thrown off the bus, they've been actually thrown off the bus before.
That couple that Terry's talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, Terry, is that part of the story? They've been thrown off before? They were trying to get on? So what does that mean? Does that mean Shia LaBeouf can't go back into a Walgreens? So what? You've been thrown off before. You got to give people a second chance. Justin, your turn. What do you got, Justin?
Good morning, T-Man.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. I wanted to call you because I recently just was engaged, and now I'm not. And it's only been a few months, but one of my friends hooked me up with this little semi-pro cheerleader from San Francisco. And it sounds all good and dandy, but the thing is...
Hey, what does semi-pro cheerleader mean? What is
I didn't even know they had
What team does she cheer for that makes her a semi-pro cheerleader?
She was a cheerleader on a semi-pro football team.
What team? The San Jose team or what?
No, I don't know. It's somewhere in San Francisco. I haven't gotten...
I don't know. All right, go ahead.
All right. But, okay, so I was talking to her, and I asked her if I was sitting in her car, what radio station we'd be listening to, and she said 105.3, and I'm thinking to myself, what is this station? And she goes, it's a Christian station. So I have a date with her tonight, and I know that it's probably going to go nowhere, but I just wanted to know your guys' feedback on all this, and it's only been like 3 months since I was engaged, but I've been telling everybody that it's been like 8 months.
Well, time and time again, I've been offered the morning show on the Christian stations all across the country. They love me, and now I can understand why she's listening to that station, waiting for the day that I actually accept the offer and go over there. So don't knock them. They have very good taste in radio hosts. I just wish they would stop harassing me. I'm going to have to put a restraining order against some of these stations, Terry. They're going to have to... leave me alone and start to realize that I'm under contract, and they're going to have to find another talent. What else is going on out there, Terry? What else is happening, please?
I got a story here about a man who offered an undercover officer $5 and some pills to kill a woman who apparently had stolen his gay lover.
Oh, well, the going rate is pretty high for your for your hitmen these days.
I guess so.
How many pills? That's really important. That's going to be the deciding
90
factor here,
Oxycontin pills.
I'll kill anybody for
90?
90.
How much
and
is it
$5
per pill? Last you checked there, hopscotch. How many dollars per pill for an Oxycontin situation?
Well, I'm going to need to know the milligrams. It's usually a dollar a milligram, from what I hear from a friend. So
$1 a milligram. What is the standard pill? What is the average, like, 190-pound dude? What is he taking? 10 milligrams?
Well, it depends on, well, they come in 5s, 10s, all the way up to 80s. So the doctor will probably, if you're getting prescribed 90, 80s, then you're 5 days away from dying. So most people probably get 10s.
Terry, does it give you milligram information
no, it does
on
not.
this hitman offer or what?
No, it does not.
I'm sure the hitman was asking how many milligrams we were talking, right, before he made his final decision?
Yeah, if you get about 40 milligrams in you, you're going to be feeling really good.
Tierney, you're on the air, Tierney. What can I do for you?
Oh, hi. I had a comment about the bus thing. You know, I moved out here from San Jose, California about 8-9 years ago, and I was on the bus. It was just me and my girlfriend at the time. I'm a gay female. And
you think?
Sure.
Very, very good. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow.
We were kissing. I don't think we were doing anything that was
wow.
over the line or anything. And this bus driver actually pulled us aside, pulled the whole bus over, and we didn't know what was going on. And she
Really? He stopped his route, mid-route, to have a little moment with you to indicate to you that he was not approving of what you were doing on his bus.
That's correct, but it was actually a female.
Now, how violent is your tongue when you do your typical kissing there, Tierney? Would you say your violent level is, on a scale of 5, where would you say it falls in? Are you like porn star, like little sword fight kind of tongue kissing, or are you more of a passionate, closed mouth, that no one could actually see your tongue when you're tongue kissing?
No, you can't see my tongue when I'm tongue kissing. I would say about a 7. 7.
Oh, just what was the scale of 1 to 5? Wow. No, a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being a very violent, just like sword fight. Because I mean, it's very in to be displaying your tongue in your tongue kissing of today, Terry. As you know, and I know you do it every night. And back in the more passionate, romantic days, maybe, the tongue kiss happened, but you never really saw the tongue. You're seeing tongues all over the joint these days, Terry. So I ask you again,
that on
Tierney.
the porn, right?
I love a lesbian named Tierney, by the way. I ask you again, Tierney.
Yeah.
How violent is your tongue in your typical tongue kissing on a scale of 1 to 5? And then follow-up question, how violent was your tongue on this morning or afternoon when you got pulled over by the female bus driver?
Regularly, I'm going to say a 4.
You're a 4?
Wow.
Well, that's pretty serious, aggressive, violent tongue kissing then.
I love kissing. Kissing is the best part of women.
How violent your tongue? Well, how violent your tongue gets doesn't necessarily indicate how much or how little you love kissing. You can love kissing and be a very passionate, never see the tongue type kisser. But you love tongue kissing and you love a good violent tongue kiss, is what you're saying.
Yes.
I mean, it goes past the borderline of passionate, and it crosses over well into the area of violent. I mean, that's the kind of tongue kisser you are, Tierney? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, at times, yes.
Tierney?
Yes, at times,
what happened to Tierney?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Terry?
What?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Anyone?
Can you hear me?
This is ridiculous. They're screaming at me. They're probably saying, we're right here, we're right here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yes, that is what we're
What the hell's going on?
Let's just sit here until
All I
they
ask
fix
is
it.
to talk to a lesbian Tierney, and this is what I get. This is stupid. What, the interview with the head coach of Bethune-Cookman just ended, and they flicked the switch again?
Sounds like it.
This is stupid.
How about now?
Terry, you there?
I am.
Terry Cam.
How about now?
I am. I'm here, right here. Sure. I can hear you.
Terry, can you hear me? Wave your hands if you can hear me on Terry Cam. Oh, this is stupid. She's waving her hand. She can hear me. What the hell's going on, Pasty? Talk
I don't know how.
Calling the people that be right now.
The people that what?
The people.
Powers that be.
The people that be. It's going the people that
be. That's why it doesn't work.
Would you like me to blow you a kiss now?
Everyone on Terry Cam. Everyone in your little boxes there.
Yeah.
Wave your arms.
Everybody wave your arms.
Show
you can
me
hear
some communication with the outside world, please.
Yeah.
I'll even get on.
Oh, look at Gay.
Oh, look at Gay. Wave your arms. See money. Wave your arms.
Oh, he can actually lift his arms above his head.
No.
Wonderful.
Oh, see, there we go.
One guy's giving me the finger. There you go. I love Terry Cam.
If it wasn't for Terry Cam, we'd be off the air.
Nothing else.
Right. Gay is stupid. Look at Gay and his stupid gay smile.
More than 5 minutes at a time.
Talking over each other. This is great.
I know. This is wonderful.
Yeah, another Christian morning here, T-Man. Ready to bring it to you. I think I can work with that.
I'll find a Christian song to play, maybe. Let's let you know.
All right.
You know, you're just talking and...
We'll reboot again, I guess.
The T-Man Show.
As I was saying, Terry... Is it too much to ask for me to be able to talk to a lesbian named Tierney on the air? Is that too much?
No.
That is too bad.
I wouldn't think so. And yet, this is a morning filled with frustration. My life is pretty much filled with frustration. I'm a man easily frustrated, Terry, but I think on this particular day, you can understand, right? Okay. It's nice to hear you, though.
Oh, nice to hear you, too.
Yes. Of course, Tierney the lesbian couldn't wait, Terry. She has some kissing to do in a violent fashion on a bus near us, I guess somewhere in a street by where we may be at some point today. That's something to look forward to, I guess, later today, maybe if we bump into that. Well, she didn't strike me as the most attractive-looking lesbian you could ever fall over by accident, right? Huh? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Okay. And what do you want? Let me ask you a question, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Oh, I can hear you.
Let me
No
ask you a
intro,
question.
no nothing.
Sir, no, I'm done with intros, Terry. I mean,
Are
I'm
ya?
too filled with yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Uh-huh. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Are you going to be on this? I'm excited about Terry Cam, and I found out yesterday, it was told to me that the company that we're using to have Terry Cam be brought to us every day on the website, Terry, is a company that only has this format, that you have to have the ability to have the listeners have their videos capable of being turned on so they can join you in the fun. I thought maybe Terry Cam would be enough, but the company assured me that the only company they're willing to work with is the one that has this format that allows other listeners to be able to flip on their webcams and join you in the fun and frolics. All right, I said that's good enough for me. I can work with that. I understand. If that's the only company that you feel is worthy of you working with them, I'm going to defer to your judgment. But now that means that there's a potential that every time I flip on Terry Cam, I'm going to see gay, stupid, red-headed mug up there. Are you going to be on there every day, gay? Is that something I have to look forward to every day for the next, what, months, years, what?
As long as it's there.
Jeez.
I'll be there.
Uh-huh.
I'm enjoying it. They asked to see my moobs earlier.
Your what?
See your what?
My
Your
moobs.
moves?
My man boobs.
Oh, your man boobs. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure that was quite the thrill. Yes.
It was. They didn't like it. But, they asked, and I had to do it.
Well, it's really very encouraging to see when I put on Terry Cam that every video screen that's available, and I guess they only have, 5 screens at a time, whatever it is, it's all dudes. Where are the ladies that want to flip on their cameras and be a part of Terry Cam?
Yeah.
Where are the ladies?
Looks like biggercity.com right now.
Now, there's a lady up there. His name is Tony 1969.
Whoa.
Jeez.
That's not nice.
Oh, but I love it.
Tony's not a lady, Terry, but he's a lady to gay phone operator.
Yeah.
Is that what he's pretty much saying? Or
Yes,
what?
he would like to make Tony his lady.
And since we're on the subject of frustration, Terry,
yes,
and how it pertains to my everyday life, I'll finally update you now on what the status is on the T-Man's party plane to Vegas that we've done the past couple of years.
Party plane to Vegas.
Now, you know how I always like to take things to the next level. Just to do the party plane to Vegas would be a little bit of a letdown to me this year after doing it a couple of years, Terry. I would like to ramp up the fun and excitement as it pertains to that. So I had the people that work with us, Terry, look into the prospect of us having, instead of the party plane to Vegas, the party cruise to Mexico. You know, we've talked about it. It's no secret. Everyone seemed to be on board. In defense, and I don't often defend the people that work around me, Terry, they did everything they were asked to do by me to try to make this party cruise to Mexico happen. But, and I confirm this, the only thing that's holding it up right now is that these cruise lines, starting from Carnival, going to the Pacific, what are some of the other cruise companies called? Whatever they're called, whoever they are. They're
Princess,
concerned.
America, yeah.
They're concerned with me specifically and some of our listeners that may be joining us on board, and they don't want to insure us. They don't want to have us on their cruise ships because they're not willing to take on the liability prospect and all the things that we may be capable of. So they're not giving us their clearance on allowing us to do the T-Man's party cruise to Acapulco or Cancun or whatever city in Mexico, whatever area in Mexico we decide to go. So the company, the station is all behind us. All the stations are all behind us. We could have a lot of listeners in the biggest event maybe we've ever had with the T-Man's party cruise to Mexico. Everyone's on board with this, literally and figuratively.
Right.
Everyone at Wild 94.9, Cube 93, all the other stations, they're all saying, oh, this is perfect, it's a great idea, let's make it happen, let's get all the listeners together. It'll be a big, just tear it up kind of sexual free-for-all, not to mention other things. And the cruise companies are worried that we'll destroy their ship. They're worried that we'll maybe jump overboard in a drunken stupor. They're worried that someone may die. And they're right, Terry.
Yeah, not the
but they have no right. They have no right. These are all very legitimate concerns, and they're right on target with all these things. But they have no right to assume that we're like degenerates, that we're like subhuman behavioral individuals that will do that without even really knowing us as well as they should.
Yeah.
Now, if they looked into it, if they investigated us, and maybe they have, I don't think they have, I assume they haven't. If they investigated us, they find that they're right on target, Terry. But I'm offended. What are we?
What if you promise him gay phone operator will not be on that ship?
No, I want to go.
Because he wants to go so bad, yeah.
I want to go.
So if we're able to find a cruise line, I don't know if any exist anymore. I think we've called them all. If we're able to find a cruise line that is willing to allow us on board, 150 listeners, me, you. I think it's you. I think you're holding up the process. If we find a cruise line that's allowing us to come on board and do the T-Man's Party cruise to Mexico, Gay, you'd want to be a part of that.
I totally would want to be part of that.
Well, I want to end any suspense you may be having as to whether you would be considered a potential passenger right now, because there ain't no party cruise to Mexico that I'm going to be a part of that you're going to be on board for.
I'll buy my own goddamn ticket if I have to.
Whoa!
You just got your car repoed. You don't have any money.
I did not get it repoed.
Lucky for you, no cruise line. Carnival, who do they have on board? They have such high and mighty people that we're such junk, Terry. What are we?
We're not junk.
What are we?
We're a great time.
Although
they look down. Well, that's you. I read it on the bathroom wall. They look down on us at Carnival.
It's not like I'm big
Kathy
anymore.
Lee Gifford doing their commercials and they look down at us.
I know.
I will say that if you may not want to cheap out on the cruise line, it is important that we have a safe boat and,
we're a bunch of derelicts! Well, we have a listener with a dinghy that's willing to put us all on board.
Wow.
No, actually, we're calling Paul Allen to see if he'll put us on his yacht. He is totally cool. And he can easily fit all the listeners.
You don't want a guy with a tugboat pulling up going, okay, I'm ready, get on board.
This is how I envisioned it. I envisioned 150 some odd listeners. When we went on the Mirage last year, didn't have any problems with us. Aside from Al State being in the casino with nothing on but a Speedo, Terry. That was quickly rectified.
Right.
Sir, you have to wear pants in the casino.
He complied. They asked him, and he did it.
Did we destroy the Mirage last year, yes or no, Terry?
Not at all. We had a great time.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Yeah, we tore it up. Yeah, we certainly didn't sacrifice any fun moments for trying to be on our best behavior. We did what we needed to do, but did we tear down the Mirage last I checked?
They loved us.
I think the Mirage is still open for business, right?
Yes.
Then who do these cruise lines think they are? Saying, no, we're not comfortable with the T-Man, the type of listeners, and the type of program he does. Let me tell you something about our listeners. First of all, they're everywhere. All right? Have you seen the KUBE numbers, Terry? Mm-hmm. KUBE numbers is the representative of the overall audience. In every city, have you seen the KUBE numbers, Terry? Have you seen how wildfire-like the listener... We have listeners in every walk of life. Cooking your food, doing your dry cleaning, driving your buses, kicking you off when you come on with your girlfriend with a leash on her neck. They're everywhere. So don't pigeonhole our listeners to be one type of individual or a certain kind of group as far as anything's concerned. Mm-hmm. Don't tell us you understand who our listeners are and we're a bunch of derelicts. We're everybody. That's who our listeners are. Everybody. And they say, even at Carnival, that they're not ready to take on the risk and the liabilities of what we may bring to their cruise ships? I mean, yeah, someone will die, Terry, so they're right about that. But how did they have the right to tell us that they know for a fact that that's going to happen? Yeah, I'm sure we'll destroy the ship beyond recognition. I mean, that is very possible. But who are they to tell us that they know that for a fact?
If someone's going to die, we should invite Gay.
I'm offended by that, Terry.
Yeah.
I'm offended.
If I can go, I'm willing to take that chance. Come on.
What if it's not a chance? What if we guarantee you can go, but you're not going to make it back alive?
If I have a good time on the way, why not?
Wow, that's worth it to you.
Hey, yeah.
All right, that's easy. That's cute. That's very cute to say, Gay, but you know that if you were going to die on our party cruise to Mexico, that you would stay home.
It depends. Is Raul the cabin boy?
Oh, gosh.
Raul the cabin boy? Who's that? I don't want to know about your personal life. Okay. You know what? Do I need to be thinking about Raul the cabin boy when I'm just trying to get a little moment on looking at Terry Cam? Is that what I have to be thinking now next time I look over?
Look at him chuckling with a little head.
So here I am trying to think a little bit of what the next level of... Because we always do the T-Man's Party Plane to Vegas, or at least the past couple of years we've done it at the end of March, beginning of April. Well, that's fast. That's quickly approaching. And maybe we'll have to go back to doing that. I don't like to succumb, Terry. I had this great vision of what the next level of getting the T-Man listeners together and blowing it out is going to be all about. And I had in my mind the next ramp up is the party cruise to Mexico from the party plane to Vegas.
Right.
And now I'm hearing back from the station, and I found out that they're not lying to me, that all these cruise ships don't want to take on the chance of what our listeners may be like on the cruise.
It's a little judgmental.
I'd rather have old ladies doing the Macarena. That's safe to them?
I guess so, it is.
That's the fun ship?
Yes.
That's their definition of the fun ship?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm offended. I'm offended. But I'll get over it.
So
where do we stand?
Yeah, where do we stand? What's going to happen?
Where do we stand? No one's budging. They're not budging, and what are we going to do? If they say we're not allowed on board, what are we going to do? Barnstorm the Carnival Destiny?
Yes.
Take over like the Spanish Armada. We'll be pirates. Gail will be the butt pirate, and he'll lead the way.
I mean, Carnival was our best chance, right? There's nothing really lower rent than that, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the most affordable, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've been on a Carnival cruise ship. I was back over, like, I don't know, about 10 years ago, and it's fun.
We had a good time.
In the morning, in the evening, ain't we got fun?
Oh, my God.
I want to push him
now
over.
He wonders why he's not welcome on any party cruise that we're thinking about.
Are you serious? Oh,
all right, Gabe, well, lucky for you, it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Woo! So
we'll probably be going back to Vegas, but I'm not giving up on this, even if I have to push back the date, Terry.
Okay.
You have any other ideas if the cruise ships, if the cruise lines ain't going to give in? Or you have any other ideas of what the next level would be or what?
Jeez. I can give you some suggestions from the old Terry cam that people are typing in if you'd like.
Give me suggestions from the chat room of people checking out your jugs on Terry cam. Is that what I need?
Nobody's checking out my jugs, by the way.
Well, give them a moment, Terry. Pan down a little bit. Have a little jug moment right now.
I can't
Come on.
read stuff. Somebody's saying party trains in New York.
Pass.
What? Party trains in New York?
I was on a train recently, and I think I'm going to pass on a party train.
Yeah. It's a little
It takes 47 hours to go 3 miles.
How about we run a party train on a really hot listener? How about that?
I'm into.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll be the conductor.
Somebody's suggesting Miami.
Miami?
Yeah.
No, Miami's not having us. Yeah, we're not allowed in the city. All right. Well, I'm not seeing necessarily that as the big next level type
agree.
situation.
I know.
I mean, you got the Mexico aspect, you got the cruise aspect. I'm set on that.
Bora Bora. Let's go to Bora Bora.
Bora Bora?
Yeah.
With Tony Romo and Jessica Simpson or what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get a private island and.
These are some of the suggestions by the listeners in the chat room right now. Is this you?
No, that was me. The Bora Bora private island was me. Party van to Olive Garden, Tijuana, Amsterdam, Atlanta. Those are some of the.
Anyone know any cruise ships? Because I'm not really feeling Terry's ideas. I'm sorry.
Well, some of them they were. I only had Bora Bora. Did you check with Holland?
Holland America?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they checked with them.
Okay.
I know they checked a couple. You know,
Princess Cruises?
Definitely one of our listeners is going overboard in a drunken moment. You know that, too.
I know that.
They don't like to stop the ship and draw anchor and get to Cozumel late. You know how it is?
I know.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do now.
Oh, wow.
That's too bad.
Let me see what some of the callers think. Amarita is on the air from Palo Alto. Yes. What can I do for you, love?
Good morning, team, and good morning, Terry.
Good morning.
How are you, baby?
I'm good. So I'm listening to this party cruise idea, and I'm so excited, and I'm thinking, how about we promise them that we're going to have a nurse and doctor team available, and I'll take care of that for you for the nurse, and I will make sure you have a doctor on board, too.
I'm sure that'll get him to budge. Well, it sounds like a nice little thought, and I'm glad that you're fired up about the idea, and just know that I never give up. That's all I can tell you. I don't give up. I always figure out a way to get it done. Terry knows that. If she knows anything about me through the years you've learned, Terry, I always figure out a way to get it done.
Yes, you do. Somebody suggested Hawaii.
Yeah, so let's suggest that and see what they say.
All right. So you're a registered nurse, is that right, Amarita?
I'm a licensed nurse.
All right, what's the difference between that and a registered nurse?
The pay
Almost
is...
like you corrected me. I said you're a registered nurse, and you said you were a licensed nurse.
Oh, I guess the pay is different. She's right.
You pretty much do the same thing.
All right, Amarita, thank you for the call, baby.
All right.
Take care. Gay.
Yes, sir.
You've put on a nurse's outfit, I'm sure, at some point in your life, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't do the stuff thing. I don't do
Steve. You're up, Steve. What's up?
Yeah, what's up? Hey, I think a plane to Atlantic City would be cool, but gay can't go, man. We don't need no gay guys on no anything. We need to be gay free.
Then you need to wake up because there's gay guys everywhere. You probably know gay guys.
I'm talking about on the trips, man. You've been to Vegas before. You've been here. You've had that. You've done this. Let us listeners have a moment to ourselves.
I didn't go the last 2 years. It's my turn to go. I want to go.
Don't need you.
I was too big to go. Now I'm not. I want to go.
Well, now you're too flabby to go.
Wow.
Well, good. I'll show you my flab. I'll put it right in your frickin' face.
Oh, okay, now the cruise ships are definitely not funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can have a lot of fun on a train, Terry, but there's something not reaching the next level that I'm hoping to reach as far as trains are concerned, Terry. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
We could tear it up on a train. I know that for a fact.
All right, trains are fun. Yeah, it just takes forever.
Yeah, but
you kind of want it to take forever if you're having a good time, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you do. And you have sleep cabins on a train, and just think we could take up a whole train.
Take up a whole car.
Well, more
Give
than
me
that.
one more thing on your pile, Terry. What else you got?
This is kind of interesting, I would hope, for the guys out there. 8% of men would give their fiancé a cubic zirconium if they knew they could get away with it.
If you knew for a fact you could get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
The guys of the world who are contemplating a marital situation would give their fiancés a cubic if they could get away with it. What's wrong with the other 92% of the guys out there?
They don't want to risk it.
If you could get away with it? No, the point is, the whole key to the question is if you could get away with it.
Right.
If you could get away with it, what are the other 92% of the guys thinking?
Oh, it's starting your relationship on a lie. She thinks it's a diamond.
Well, you might as well start it off on the same foot that it's going to be like all the way along.
You can't be consistent.
Wow. Well, doesn't the CZ over time, deteriorate?
The CZ. I didn't know you were so cool, Terry.
Well, isn't that what they're...
CZ.
Well,
when you're a connoisseur,
short.
then you have nicknames.
I know what it's called. I have a few.
And doesn't it what now?
Doesn't it like yellow or tarnish somehow over time?
No, that's the real diamond that you got. Anyway, no, I don't know. I'm not the expert on cubes, but I'm just thinking if you knew that. To me, is the part of the question that stands out. If you knew you could get away with it, what percent of guys would give their girls a cubic? And the answer is only 8%. Got a lot of nice guys out there. That's what that stat tells me.
Yeah, that is true.
You probably read the stat thinking that was a high number. 8% of guys would be so deceitful and so...
Yes.
She would never find out. She would go to the grave thinking she got this huge rock.
Mm-hmm.
That's better than her thinking that her future husband couldn't afford anything more than a chintzy little real diamond. She thought she had a real big rock on her hand. She never knew it wasn't a diamond. Ignorance is bliss, baby.
Great motto.
Matt? That's what I thought my whole life was. In San Francisco. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, buddy. How's it going?
What can I do for you? Gay, you still
I want to go on a T-Man ski trip.
Skiing? Oh, yeah.
A ski trip. I haven't been skiing in over 10 years, Terry.
Well, snowboarding.
You just hang out in the snow in the village?
Yeah.
Be the village drunk?
Mm-hmm.
Cuddle up to somebody new that you met.
If you want to we can take it all the way to Colorado or something if we want to go on a long one. If not, we just go to Mammoth or somewhere in Tahoe.
Yeah.
Listeners drinking hot chocolate by the fire, Terry. You
yes.
feeling it?
Oh, yeah. Cuddling up. Who'd you meet? In the hot tubs out in the snow?
Take a trip, though. You want to get some sun, right? I mean...
Yes.
It's a little too cutesy for me. I'm sorry. There's something about going to Mexico, being on a cruise ship that this is a step down. I'm sorry. I'm not knocking the little ski trip. I'm sure it's really cute and cuddly for you, sir. But
I already have matching sweaters picked out for you and I, though.
I would see that as me succumbing, and I never succumb.
You should go to the doctor.
Drop the sum.
Now, do you like your sweaters with the turtleneck or no? I'm sorry.
I don't see myself, and the real Gore-Tex jacket on, and the turtleneck, and the first lift is leaving now. Let's get going.
Can't wait to hit the slopes.
I'm seeing Bud Lights galore. I'm seeing Mexico. I'm seeing, margaritas, girls getting ripped, being on the cruise ship, not knowing if you're going to make it back to the cabin in one piece,
Although if
heckling the second-rate comedian on board.
Second-rate, boy, it's an upgrade. If you ever
Major upgrade.
saw the movie Hot Dog, though, the ski trip looked a little enticing.
No, ski trip's going to be fun. But again, wouldn't that be, after I just told you we've been trying so hard to get the T-Man party cruise to Mexico a reality, wouldn't that be if I told you, okay, we're doing a ski trip, you're going to tell me that wouldn't be one notch down at least?
I would pass
Would that be a notch down, yes or no? Terry, let me ask you. Is that a notch down?
Yeah.
Raise your hands in Terry Cam if that's a notch down.
Yeah, raise your hands.
If it's one notch down, Terry, then I ain't having it. I don't go notches down.
No, you don't. You only go up.
I'm taking showcase number 2.
I don't go for showcase number 2.
Everybody's raising their hand, by the way.
It's a notch down?
Yeah. Except for Tony. He's driving well, so he's got to keep his hands
Although
up.
I do want to put Gay on a sled at the top of the hill and push him all the way down.
How is Tony in his car smoking away?
Is that not crazy?
He's been on his
How
car
is
the
he
whole
on
morning.
Terry Cam?
All morning long he's been doing it.
He's scaring the hell out of me.
Yes.
Tony, explain this to us. How are you? Can you hear
And he
us
can
in Terry
type.
Cam there? Let me go to Tony and Terry Cam land. I know he can only... There, he's raising his hand.
He's
how is
waving.
he?
It's not good.
Scary. He's a delivery driver, right? And so we were... Yeah.
He's got his
with a
laptop.
camera in his car, and he's joined us on Terry Cam.
Yes. And every once in a while he'll turn it to the, to watch the road drive, and he's flying down the road.
He's looking at the road maybe 5% of the time.
It's not good. I keep watching him. I'm so nervous.
Really scary. Tony, 1969, currently in Terry Cam. I'm speaking to you. I know you cannot talk back, but raise your hand. Maybe you think it's equivalent. Maybe you think that the ski trip idea has so much potential that you think it's on the same plane as T-Man's party cruise to Mexico. If you think it's one notch down or more, raise your hand. If you think it's equal or better, keep your hands where they are. And I don't want to know where exactly that is. I'm waiting for a response. I know there's like a 17-second delay. From Tony, 1969, who is currently on Terry Cam on the TManShow.com in his car, strapped in, thankfully.
Yeah, he does have his seatbelt on.
He is buckled up for safety.
I hope the people around him are, too.
Oh, he's raising his hand, by the way.
He's got that goofy smile on his face. I can see his wedding ring as he raises his hand. You see that, Terry? He sees it as a notch down.
Yes, he does.
So there goes your ski trip idea. Now, maybe we'll do a ski trip sometime in the future, but I can't bring about a ski trip now into our lives when we all now know it could have been a party cruise to Mexico. Why is he laughing his ass off now?
He's showing his wedding ring. Because he's reading the chat and driving and listening to you.
Jeez.
He's doing, way too many things.
There's got to be so many laws he's fracturing right now.
Okay, you think?
See Money, who's one screen above him.
See Money, he just watches and observes. He doesn't even chat.
Why do these dudes have such goofy smiles on their face? And why are they all guys in Terry Cam?
I don't know.
Do you scare the ladies away? What's up
I
with
would think not. Although people, ever since you talked about my nostrils, everybody's talking about my nostrils. I can't help it.
Well, you got huge nostrils, Terry. I mean, you could fit a family of 4 up there. When I see 5 screens, 6 screens, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at that guy pressing his face up against the camera. That's really nauseating. When I see 6 people on Terry Cam, and they're all guys, and they all have goofier smiles than gay phone operator, I know something's wrong with this.
Yeah,
when gay phone operator is the least goofy of all the people in Terry Cam
I know.
Let's turn into a gay chat room.
I
sure.
know there's a problem. Do you hear me, gay?
Yes.
The fact that I can see you and hear you on the air at the same time is just not the place where I wanted this show to wind up, Terry.
I know.
I'm loving it.
Just so we can move on. Gay's not going on any trip, right? We're clear?
No, you are not going to make that
I need
decision
to know
now.
to prepare myself for.
No.
Gay, let me make sure
you
you
prepare yourself for me to be there.
Gay,
We'll share
let
a
me make sure
hotel
you-
room again.
Let me make sure you have no illusions.
I'm going.
Wherever the T-Man Show listeners wind up, whether it's Mexico, if I'm going to succumb, it's going to be back to Vegas, Jerry.
Okay.
Or Vegas. You know, I'm a Vegas guy, and that's always never a notch down from anything. But I wanted to do Mexico. Whether it's Mexico or Vegas or Istanbul.
Oh, yeah, beautiful this time of year.
Wherever the T-Man Show and the listeners wind up, as far as our year's trip is concerned, you ain't going to be a part of it.
Woohoo! Ow! Oh.
I'm going.
He's going. He's going to buy his own ticket, damn it.
The furthest you get, as far as the show is concerned, because we haven't found a way to stop it yet, is Tari Cam. Enjoy your vacation.
I will come down and camp out my ass at the studio until you let me go.
Enjoy your resort location that is Tari Cam, because that's as big a getaway as you're going to get, son.
The T-Man Show.
The violent-tongued lesbian has called back on the line, Terry.
Woohoo!
Tierney, the violent-tongued lesbian, are you there?
I am here.
Tierney, I'm sorry we had some technical problems that had our conversation that I was very much engulfed in get terminated prematurely. I hope you call back at a later date. I don't have really any time. The network goes down in about 2-3 minutes, so I'm hoping that you will call back tomorrow or sometime soon so we can discuss at greater depth and length your violent-tongued lesbian lifestyle.
Well, I'd love to. I listen to you every morning.
Well, Tierney, now I listen to you every morning, so the feeling is mutual, and I look forward to continuing on our conversation. Because I don't know where we got cut off, Terry, but it feels like I never got a response to... I don't feel comfortable that I have a true understanding of how violent on that 1 to 5 scale her tongue... Did you say a 4? What did she say?
I think she said a 4, yeah.
A 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I had so many follow-up questions I can't even begin to tell you, Tierney, the violent-tongued lesbian. So I'm looking forward to you. And when you call back, make sure that you tell the call screener that you're not just Tierney, you're Tierney, the violent-tongued lesbian.
She's definitely my favorite. She's my favorite gay caller ever. Definitely.
She's your favorite gay caller?
Yeah, she definitely brings some insight. I love her.
Yes.
We only really have 2 regular gay callers right now. So what you're indicating is Tierney, the violent-tongued lesbian, who is as new a regular caller as you can get, has already surpassed gay phone operator, the violent-bellied homo, in being number 1. Yes. Is that right?
Yes.
Gay? Does that sit well with you or no? A gay? Is this gay? Gay's not on the line anymore?
The only reason he's saying that is because he would do her and not me.
I don't think he would do either one of you, and I don't think it has anything to do with it.
I think he would.
Speak for yourself. No, I think she brings some
I don't have to do myself.
She brings insight. She's not needy. She doesn't ask for stuff. She's great.
Never. It has nothing to do with
Her voice doesn't crack uncomfortably.
In fact, your voice is cracking these days. Now that you've lost so much weight, it's really something you should be concerned about. Gay, you're number 2, and maybe at some point today you'll actually go and do one, but the fact that you've been supplanted from your top spot, being that you were the only true gay regular caller we had, and you've been just taken out of that status so quickly, has to be a concern of yours. What?
It's great to have It's great to have a gay caller that's like in a relationship, that's like a grown up, an adult, and it's awesome. It's really great to hear that. It was great to have her on.
I would like to be in a relationship. It's not my fault that I'm not in one.
Uh-oh.
It is your fault. You are unable to coexist with anyone for more than 5 minutes at a time. That is the reality of the situation. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you can make improvements to your personality, and you can possibly have a future where you will be actually spending some time with another human being on a regular basis.
I have a great personality.
You sound like a real people person.
Your personality is long overdue for an absolute overhaul. But that's okay.
Oh, man.
Gay, it's been lovely chatting with you.
It's the same for me. It always is.
How come every time we talk to Gay, we don't get cut off? The system doesn't just break down. When we're talking to Tierney, the violent-tongued lesbian, and I'm all excited and interested in the conversation, the whole network breaks down. But Gay phone operator, it's up and running, never better, crystal clear.
Because I'm good. I'm number 1 and I should be on.
Ow! Wow. I don't know what he just yelled, Terry.
I don't either.
Serious.
He says he's number 1 and he should be on.
Well, he's got to start to accept that he's no longer number one, and Tierney, the violent tongue lesbian, is our new number one homo on the program.
Wow.
And that's just the way it is.
She brings a great perspective that he's just not capable of producing.
She's just a very well-rounded woman from all aspects that I've heard so far. She's interesting. She sounds lovely. She sounds like she has some real direction with her life, and she's just a person who has everything going for them, as opposed to gay phone operator who you can't spot one aspect of his existence that has anything going for it. And that's really a shame, but he's our friend nonetheless, Terry, even though he has now been bumped to number 2.
Going for me. I have a job.
He's finally working,
society. I have friends.
How do you contribute to society?
Because I pay my goddamn bills and taxes.
Whoa, look at how angry he gets. Look at him yelling on the...
Does he get all red on Terry?
Yes, he does.
He looks crimson.
Oh,
he does, and his face blows up.
Ginger's turn a weird color.
Red. Wow.
Look at him.
Wow.
Start yelling again, Gay. Let me see all the blood rush to your head.
No, screw you.
Look at him.
So tired of that. You know what? I contribute to society. I'm a good guy. Yes, I deserve it to be in a relationship, and I'm open.
All right, talk to yourself off the air. Leave me alone. Okay.
Wow.